Check. Oh, Mike, check. Hey, psst, listen. I got a secret. I know you've been watching this channel, and I know you can't tell anybody. Not your friends, not the new hires, definitely not the old hires. Your old buddies, and the good old boys. There's a lot of new stuff happening here on ATI, and we can't let the secret get out. It's about our relationship. It's about me and you. Now, we all know that some folks are positive that nothing is ever going to change. And then 2020 happened. And then the car hauling dispatcher guy from YouTube started to make a lot more sense. But we still don't have to tell anybody. Now, we don't know what next year brings. And we know that a lot of people are looking for answers. And hopefully you and I learned not to judge a book by its cover. So don't worry, I'm looking out for you. I'll keep all this on the down low. Your secret is safe with me. Super secret. Born identity. I'll never give you up. But tonight, it's Wheel of Topics, December 2020, and the gang is here. And there's a lot of new members. Because everybody knows there's nothing like Auto Transport Intel. But we need you. So please join the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business. Because it's Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It's Tuesday Nights Live. We're live. I'm Jay. I'm your host. And I welcome you back to the show. Can you see me and hear me okay? Not coming in too loud. Maybe it's alright. So yeah, man. So we got a great show. This is episode 170 in a row. Oh man, I blew it. You know what? I was running out of time. And I was like up to the second. So let's see if we can do that proper. All right, let's go. Take two and going again. Still rolling. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. I sure hope you feel welcome. We're here every Tuesday night, and the crowd is growing, and we let in all the verticals. This is the place you can go no matter what part of auto transport you do. And we want you to say hello. Please say hello into the live chat. It's not a total secret, but, you know, this is Auto Transport Intel, so tell us, you know, your company, your product, your service, your name, what's going on. Are you running right now? Are you rolling? When are you going back to work? You know, but, you know, a lot of people are taking the time off, so we still have industry news. And the industry news is a little bit light, because here's a confession. I just took several days off in a row. I didn't do anything. Actually, we did very little. So I do have some industry news, but it is really the lead-in into Wheel of Topics, December 2020. We've got Brian Riker, Paul Meyer, Lionel Yates, Tim Scatellis, Paul Machine, Mark Brodicke, and Ty. Now, unfortunately, Ron couldn't make it. Ron was on the original lineup. Just got a message from him. That he is helping a fellow car hauler. He's a carrier, he's a driver, and ran into an issue where he had to help out, so that's no problem. We do appreciate everybody that can make it tonight. And in fact, I have a feeling that there's going to be some unknowns. Let's see here. Tried to share it. Interesting. The white tablecloth. If you look at jump in the live chat. Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna jump into the live and get ahead of myself. We're gonna jump into the live chat in a second. I tried to show those links and it won't let me. How strange. I think that's a YouTube thing. So do this. Put in if you have a link, put in the name.com. Leave out the www. Let's see if that helps. Or otherwise, just spell out .com. We're going to be right back. Please do stick around. Please do say hello in the live chat. I can't wait to talk to you.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
That is the voice of Sue at Murphy Auto Transport. She's my co-host on Thursdays. She runs a dispatch office. She is also a fully licensed broker. You got a dispatching question, broker question, looking for a dispatcher, want to find out if having a dispatcher is the best thing for you. You know, it's not the con job that we keep hearing about in certain parts of the auto transport universe. I don't know why that is, but she can help you. She wants to help you, and if she can't, part ways and go do something else. But we're glad that you're here on Auto Transport Intel, and it is time to jump into the live chat. So let's do that. Now I got to back it up a little bit, but you can see the current live chat on the screen. See, there you go. Interesting. So you can, as long as you don't put http:// which is all hypertext protocol, I do believe. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for what you do. Appreciate that in the live chat. Now, Ty was in here first. Ty said, spin it. Paul Machine is here. What's up, you guys? Silvermint is putting in Chinese characters into the live chat. And it came out, hello, Jay, the best Chanel car online. So that's pretty cool. And I'll tell you what, Silvermint, truth. Listen, if I thought learning Chinese would help our car hauling businesses, we would have a Chinese car hauling business language session. So put it down. I'm open to that too. I'm open to everything, man. Let's do this. Lionel Yates says, where's Monty? What's up, Lionel? Andrew Serica, what's going on? Andrew, thanks for tuning in. Now, Silvermint has a request. I like this. I have to have someone tell their story about the pains of growth in this business. That seems to be another interesting trend. There's a lot of new trends. There's more auto transport social media than I've seen ever before in this fashion. So we're in for an interesting year. But yes, if you have a story, you want to come on Auto Transport Intel, whether Tuesday nights live, do it on a Cars on the Move, do it on a DOT compliance show. And let's talk to you about your pains in the growth in auto transport, whether you're a carrier, driver, broker, illegal dispatcher, that's a joke. Or man, maybe you work at an OEM, maybe you work at an auction, a dealership. You want to talk about your pains in auto transport? This is the channel for you. Probably the only one. But then, hey, I get ahead of myself. Okay, what else we got here? Ty is in here. Paul Machine is in here, of course. Andrew Serica. Mark Grodeke from Superflow Systems. What's up, Mark? It's in white tablecloth. Paul Meyer, that J guy is freaking great. Dude, Paul, you're freaking great, man. Thank you so much. That is really cool. Ty's in here with the first super chat. Ty, buddy, thank you, man. Ty continues to be so supportive and a participant in the channel. It's not all, wine and roses. As people, right? Car hauling obviously is one of those easy professions. Not at all, man. And for doing your part and helping out, Ty, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Silver Mint says, hey, 16 watching and growing. All right, you want to know what I was talking about there? So I know there's people watching this channel, and because I'm seeing references, but it's not. I'm not getting total credit all the time. And I listen. I understand this is not a sob story. It's kind of the nature of competitive business. We're human beings. We are competitive. Auto transport is also extremely competitive, and we're about to tear away from what I call the Stone Age. And even just saying that, like, oh my God, Jay, what are you talking about? Stone Age. You know, ask a client, ask a dealer how they feel about auto transport, right? Ask someone at an auto auction how they feel about what's going on in the carriers and the transport parking lot. And even check in with Ty on this topic. We are starting to go through our own growing pains as an industry. And as a previous dispatcher and a media and marketing guy heading up, banging the drum of knowledge, it's not working for everybody. But they're still paying attention. So explain that? I don't know. But anyways, Sheldon Nixon, hey, what's up from Southern Executive Transport? Thanks for saying hello, Sheldon. I really do appreciate it. That is super cool. Gary P is here. What's going on? Sky Hallman is here. Hey, what's up, guys and gals? 2021 will be the year that tech will be widely embraced by all automotive. I feel it brewing. I couldn't agree more. I'm right there with you. I'm so glad that I like tech. I don't reject technology. Sometimes I don't accept all technology, but I certainly don't reject the promise of technology, and I would never recommend sticking with paper. But you know what? Tuesday nights live would be better if they were Tuesday afternoons, keeping you up late. Brian, you're not alone. It seems that almost the entire panel is East Coast. What's up with that? Like, me and Ty are the only ones Central Time. I'm sure it's another conspiracy. What else? Okay. Yep. So Kimberly is in here. Thank you, Kimberly. Big John 29585. Finest towing at recovery in the house. Dude, Big John, thanks for saying hello, and thanks for getting your information posted. Michael Culler made it in here. What's up, Michael? Corvette, can't wait to start rolling. Wow, that's super cool. Thanks, Corvette. I know we got some new folks in here. Now, obviously, right, you're not new. We're new to each other. We're getting to know each other. The community's expanding, and that is super cool. Oh my gosh. What is Andrew thinking? Why would Andrew... Knucklehead, ring that bell. What's up? Knucklehead. Knucklehead is in the live chat. That is super cool. Yeah, and listen, if your live chat is not showing... I think there's a YouTube error happening because I can't share anything. I've never seen that happen, so I don't know. But keep trying, keep putting it in there. Okay, so there's Andrew. Wow, Andrew. I'm telling you, man, that is so cool, dude. Thank you so much, Andrew. Okay, let me read this. All right, let's read. Well, you can't read. The end will be cut off, so I'll read it. The information and networking that comes from this channel is awesome. I've had great calls with Lionel, Insurance, General Business Advice, Brian, Anything Compliance, Ty, anything having to do with sales, moving cars, you name it, and Jay for putting it all together. Wow, Andrew, that is... And I'm just gonna say it, and this is why I have my horn, and I toot my own horn, is that's exactly the whole point. That's the whole purpose of this. And so the idea that there's still this competitive and secrecy, and I don't understand it. But Andrew, thank you so much for being a part of it, getting it, and sharing it, and knowing it. I know it's true because I'm seeing it on a regular basis, and I really, there'd be no point if this was like some kind of clickbait center or something. There's no way. I heard this quote. You've got to fully believe in whatever. If you have a message, and you are promoting that message, you have to fully believe in it, or you're going to run out of perseverance. And I do believe in this. And in fact, that was one of the things I did over the break. Is contemplated. Are we on the right track? What are we doing? Right? Maybe those that ignore this are right. No, they're not, man. Oh my gosh. Andrew, thank you so much. And thank you guys, everybody in the live chat, everybody here that's now, everybody here that's later, whether you put it in the YouTube comments, whether you show up in a year from now, whether you just make a phone call or watch a video, whatever it is. It's not just supporting this channel, but it's knowing that auto transport is finally headed in a new direction. Believe me, man, I'm just running a channel here. I'm not fixing auto transport, but I am here to help, because there's stuff that still needs to change. There's stuff that is changing. The world around us is changing, and we need somewhere safe where we can ask questions, feel a little bit embarrassed and stupid about not being the perfect super trucker. Man, I don't think we have any super perfect super truckers. We might. And if you are a perfect super trucker, you're welcome too. Right alongside the guy that you think is an illegal dispatcher, or the broker that's misunderstood, that really did work really hard to get the client lead converted into moving the vehicle. There definitely, if you watch Dispatching Live, there's still some problems. Man, there's a lot of problems. But we're trying to work on it. And so thank you guys so much for getting it, for tuning in. I've got some great shows lined up. I'm going to talk about that in the live chat. So please do say hello, promote your company, product, or service. And then right after this, we're going to go industry news. Thank you guys so much.
Superflow Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geo-located pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
So if you haven't already signed up and logged into DispatchCenter.com, try that. Do it. It's a load board. There's a mobile app for you to use. And most importantly, they want to help you stay loaded. And we know that with all the things going on, it seems like life gets more and more and more complex. When it comes to new technologies in auto transport, we need technologies that want to help us stay loaded, stay profitable without having to search for that information. And Dispatch Center is doing that for you. So visit superflowsystems.com. Mark is on the show tonight, so if you have any questions. I also want to say I jumped in. Oh, there's Mark right now. Oh man, Mark, I just want to say this before I thank you for the super chat. Again, is that Sheldon Nixon asked a great question. You got a question to ask? Yes, Ty is here. He wants to help you. Pablo said hello from Transnation Transport. What's up, Pablo? Thanks for saying hello and tuning in. Joseph McCleary is here. What's up, Joe? But yes, Mark, thank you, buddy. Mark has a habit of also supporting, participating, and contributing to Auto Transport Intel on a regular basis, and we really appreciate you for that, Mark. And you know, I gotta say, I feel like it's coming back to you, Mark. I know, like, several times I've been in a meeting where you came to mind as far as you're my go-to software advisor. And yeah, man, so I got to hook you up. So set up a meeting. And so that's another thing that this is really all about. It's not just information. It's networking, connecting. And every time we talk to a fleet carrier, maybe they're mid-size or large, they're looking for sub-haulers. And they work with each other. So there's, as they say, it's a small world. And so we want to help. We want to help play our part. So Mark, thank you so much for doing what you do and bringing your passion to the industry as well. Let's go into industry news. It is time. Okay, so let's see here. And by the way, please let me know if you can see me and hear me, okay? I'm going to check my audio. Check, mic. Kimberly's like, yep, you already checked it. Yeah, I know. Well, I got to keep checking it, man. It's just my nature. Yep, so the little loud there. Mic 2. Okay, Wheel O Topics, December 2020. And see, and I can't stop thinking about the audio. I'll just bring that down just a little bit. Okay. So it's Wheel of Topics, December 2020. Guys, we haven't done a Wheel of Topics show since September. And I thought it would be more of a kind of like a monthly event. Not that I wanted to do it that often, but it is kind of that. It's a great backup, maybe a plan B, plan C. Got to have a plan B or plan C. Well, that's Wheel of Topics. And I worked really hard. I got some great topics. Here's the spinner. It's already ready to go. So here are the topics. What's working in online events and social media strategy? What VIN data and marketplace trends do I need? Put EVs in there. What's the best new car hauling 2021 business advice? You see that all the time. We have one in the live chat. Dealers, auctions, carriers, and essential mobile apps, right? Because it's getting harder to know. And when you include all the verticals, bro, what do you do? What's it going to take to stay the number one broker carrier? Now, this one is a little fun. It's a tongue-in-cheek because everybody's number one, and but there are things you're going to need to make sure you do to stay number one. Will consumer home delivery ever affect the full-time company driver? Again, this one's for the super trucker that thinks, I don't understand why you guys go on and on about all this stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. Will consumer home delivery ever affect a full-time company driver? I think that question is, I don't know if it's as much as a question. I think it's more of a rhetorical question. Equipment tips, trailers, semis, and pickup trucks help me. You see that one a lot, and so I think that's a great topic. Inventory inspections, vehicle remarketing, and the supply chain. J, supply chain. C, you're off the map. Am I? Because I hear supply chain when executives talk on a regular basis. Why is everyone hiring drivers, and how do I keep my best carriers? Really, it seems like everybody's hiring. Why is that? Jay, it's always been that way. It's always been done that way. Okay, well, I'm asking the question. And is the repo market as important as you say? Why or why not? The repo market gets talked about a lot. There is a lot to talk about. And so we've got an interesting panel to help me talk about all of these verticals because, bang, we're going to talk about everything tonight. I know I confuse people back in the store, front of the store. Jay, what are you talking about? By the way, is it even a store? Well, yes, it is. And so I put this together because I'm not trying to, do anything fancy. But, 2021 is the year of the hybrid, or 2020 is, and we're just going to continue into the year of the hybrid. So I'm going to be talking about this theme, and just imagine, you're in the Chinese restaurant, you're waiting on your Mugo Gai Pan, and the fortune cookies. You're thinking about the taste of those, and you look down on your menu, and you see, 2021, the year of the hybrid. Okay, and very interesting. This is getting very interesting now. So what am I talking about? All right, well, for example, here's a company we talk about all the time, Central Dispatch. Central Dispatch is literally one of those companies that gets mentioned on a daily basis. And if it's not just Central Dispatch, it's Cox Automotive. And by the way, here's the question, connecting with 13,000 professional auto transportation companies. Are those current companies? Is that a current number? Are those carriers? Are those brokers and carriers? Does anybody know? I'm curious. And by the way, now we're talking about Manheim partnering with DHL, and we want to know, what is that going to look like? Manheim, Central Dispatch, Ready Logistics, DHL, hybrid. We're talking technology, we're talking carriers, etc. In fact, here is the celebratory image of hybrid Carvana, right? And by the way, is that car hauling? Inquiring minds want to know. My understanding is it is car hauling. Carvana considers it car hauling, but is it car hauling in the auto transport industry? Well, it may not matter because Carvana, they've got Carvana Access where you can trade wholesale, and you're going to need auto transport for that. And then also now Carvana's really pushing that as a consumer, you can sell your car, you can get a valuation, get a real offer in 2 minutes. Who's going to come and pick up your car and then deliver your new one? I don't know. Sounds like Auto Transport to me, but I digress. And even Acura is getting in on the game. Acura offers non-certified used cars online. Why? Oh, because everybody's doing online sales? Oh, and home delivery? Interesting. And that's why used car dealers are suddenly so popular, because we're in a weird market, and used car sales is the hot new thing for some automakers who sense they are losing lucrative business to online newcomers. Yeah, you think? But why am I talking about online car sales? We're focused on Auto Transport, right? Let's go to the back of the store. CNET.com, you can look up the best car battery chargers for 2021. That sounds like Auto Transport stuff. Okay. Clearinghouse, query deadline approaching. Okay, I know it's a snooze fest, but what is that, next week? Holy mackerel. Motor carriers have until January 5th to run their first query. Owner-operators under their own authority are required to conduct queries on themselves. Now, by the way, before you go querying yourself, this applies to CDL drivers, okay? So if you're a non-CDL driver, yet another benefit of being non-CDL. But if you have questions, and this is Landline, this is OIDA, they put out a lot of information about it. Or you can go to the FMCSA, provides a step-by-step guide. I clicked on it, and I'll tell you what. Here, let's do this. Yeah, let's see if this works. Okay, so here's the step-by-step guide. And I'll try to rush through this. I know it's extremely boring. Oh, clearinghouse. Clearinghouse. Drug and alcohol clearinghouse. But here, if you go to the FMCSA, it's clearinghouse.fmcsa.dot.gov. Learn how to log in, select your employer. I mean, I'm serious. If you're a CDL driver and you're an owner-operator, you're going to want to do this. Because if you don't want to do this, I mean, I guess you can wait till you get to the scales. Sure. Just wait. Brian, I think we might have to do a show tomorrow and talk about this. Hey, Global cargo logjam deepens, delaying goods bound for retailers. Why is this important? Let's see. Oh, shipments from China postponed by as much as 3 weeks. So, Silverman, break out the Chinese, because we might need to call somebody. Apple Car is set to launch in 2024. Apple Car. It's been rumored to be working on its own car for years. Codename Project Titan, which rumors have begun to fly since 2014. Project Titan is back. Current reports say that Apple has once again given the green light to car projects. So look for Apple Car. It's interesting. I read that Tesla was thinking about selling to Apple, but obviously those days are gone. But anyways, but this writer, this is an Apple analyst. Ming-Chi Ku is out with a special note on Apple Car that says maybe more like 2025, 2028. Don't get so excited. I wouldn't be trading in your Mac for a car just yet. In California, little robot cars will deliver pizza, groceries, and medicine as a paid service. What does this have to do with Auto Transport? How do they get there? So if anybody loads one of these things, this little Nero right here, you load one, please email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Has anybody loaded one of these yet? Somebody has. Either that, was it listed as a golf cart? Tesla releases software update that turns your car into a boombox, and more. Yeah, and the new Fire Holiday update pushed over the air software, right? And included 3 in-car video games. Oh, joy. But here's the real prize. Tesla owners can now change their horn to sound like a fart. So that might help out at the auto auction. Hey, this is how you get your car shipping news, I'm telling you. And as proof, on Instagram, our friends at All American Auto Transport, they gave a free, check this out, they gave a free transport to a nurse Jaquetta Reeves is a nurse who risks so much to help others on a daily basis. So we gave her a free transport. That is super cool. Well done, Victor and all the guys at All American Auto Transport in California. Put it up on the big screen. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. Sign up as an ATI Insider. Get your first talk. Get your free session. Get your email. And maybe join me for a little bit of ELD Punch. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Guys, hang on for your emails. I'll be back in about another... I'll be back here in about 30 seconds. Hold on.
Hey, it's Ty, transport guy. Hanging out in the transport parking lot always. If you want to learn to grow your business... I think you should probably go to ATI Insider, sign up for free. Don't give anybody any money. And with that, you get, I think you get a 20-minute phone call, which usually turns into a little longer than that. You get to join the roundtable, which is once a month. And at the roundtable, what we do is we get pretty detailed about how to build your business, how to connect with dealers, how to connect with auctions, how to build a lane. If you're new, if you saw a YouTube video and says, I can make $1 million in a week and I want to get into car hauling, Ty, and maybe you own a Stinger, maybe you own a little rollback. Man, how do I figure this out? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? What do I need? How do I do it? You get to make relationships with other carriers. It's kind of not a one-size-fits-all. It's here a little bit about you. Go to the ATI Insider, get signed up. I can help you. I really can.
It's true. He can. And, I didn't share this. This is where you go, autotransportintel.com. And that's how you can sign up for the Insider. Listen, I don't know. It is a secret. But in case it's not, go ahead and click that like button. And while you're there, click that share button. You see below the video. Click copy. You can share the link. We haven't even started. I'm still in industry news. And by the way, what is going on with industry news? I said this is Wheel of Topics, December 2020. And if you're just joining now, no problem. Because this title screen isn't anywhere in the right place. Is it? I'm not sure. Oh, who do we have on tonight? Oh, Ty. Yes, Ty is with us. Ty makes videos about how hard can car hauling be. Did you watch a video? Said you can get rich. Ty is with me every Friday live on Auto Transport Intel. Does way more than just co-hosting a show. Ty is so involved. If you sign up with the ATI Insider, he talks to people. He literally, check this out. Watch this. I'm going to type his phone number right here. 417-483-2764. Now, I dare anybody. Call him right now. Call him or text him. Even though he's going to be on the show here in a few minutes, he's still going to answer. He's still going to text you back. Or he's going to say something like, yes, you know what? Let's schedule a time tomorrow. And that's what's awesome. Thank you for doing that, Ty. Mark Grodicke, Superflow Systems. This was a great video. And by the way, you know what? You know what's fun about sitting around making something to eat? Alexa, play smooth jazz. And she does it. So you know what? While you're playing the smooth jazz on Alexa, open Quotify. Get out of here. Really? It actually works. Check it out. Visit superflowsystems.com. Amazing. Transportautoquoter.com. Man, that is like the best auto transport quoter. DOT Compliance was a show every other Wednesday. No longer. Brian Riker starting in January, and he's going to be with us here tonight. Starting in January, we're going to be live every Wednesday at noon, and if you need him, I'm telling you, put this in your back pocket, fleetcompliancesolutions.net. You want to have that handy. Lionel Yates, he's with us tonight. This is Lionel Yates from the show last week. Lionel has auto-hauler.com. Now, can you see that? I know I'm flying through these things, Kimberly, but stay with me because we're going to take some more twists and turns. Lionel Yates of CY Financial Solutions. Go to autohauler.com. There's the phone number. Do you need insurance? Do you need good startup advice? What are you thinking? I'm just kidding. Now, Ron was supposed to be with us tonight. Ron can't make it. But he says this just came in. This is not even an hour ago. Hey, Ty, so sorry. I have a driver whose deck froze up trying to unload, on the island. Road services, MIA. Wow, what's going on? So I had to go out and help myself to help. Please let Jay know. So sorry. Man, that's okay, dude. Ron, you're good to go, buddy. This is Auto Transport Intel, and we understand. That's part of the reason we go live so often, to talk about how crazy this industry is. You know it's crazy, but I mean, how can we shine a light on the craziness? Well, we do it every Tuesday nights live with the executives. We've got Paul Meyer on the show tonight. Dealer Vendor Match. He was on the show, what was that, a month or two ago, Paul? DealerVendorMatch.com. Paul is really good at networking and connecting different verticals. And he also, when you go to DealerVendorMatch.com, he wants to explain to you how he wants to help you network and connect with the other verticals to grow your business. So he's on the show tonight. Tim Skatelis is on the show tonight. Tim was on. Tim is with Max Digital. He was on here, was that a month ago? Man, time moves so fast. Go to maxdigital.com. We keep hearing about digital dealer solutions. Well, let me tell you something. You want to talk to somebody that really understands where transporters connect with dealers, connect with auctions, connect with technology and vehicle inspections and consumers and all of it. Oh, starts doing the kung fu again. Well, I'm telling you, Max Digital, Tim Skatelis, he's got amazing information. And of course, we love our friends at Black Book. Thank you so much, Black Book, for your automotive market insight. We recently released this video edit. This is an 11-minute video. Transport Inventory Q4 2020 with Black Book and Auto Transport Intel. Paul is on the show. This is a slide from, I believe, that presentation. And don't miss it. Listen, if you're not familiar with, where is... I'm just going to jump out of turn because I'm the one that put these slides together. Go here. Go to... Here. Let me grab this link. See here. Let me just try to fake out YouTube and see if they'll let me paste this in here. Okay, go to blackbook.com. Grab that link, and you can get market reports right off their website. Really amazing stuff. So much great information at Black Book, so you'll want to do that. But you want to make sure you join us for the Click to Spin Wheel of Topics December 2020. It is coming up here in a few minutes. We've already gone over the topics. This is one last opportunity. Get out your cell phone. Where's my phone at? Get out your phone, okay? And just aim it at the screen. Go ahead and do that. And, oh man, I missed it. Did I miss anything? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. I know. I don't know why. So get your phone out right there and, so there you go. And click the photo, snap the screen. Now you've got a copy of the topics. I'm going to leave my phone right there so that you can get ready to chime in. Now quickly, before we get to the show, guys, okay, get ready. Get your buzzers ready because we're coming up in a few minutes. We're almost there. We're in the last part of the downhill chute, as it were, of the bobsledding. If we were bobsledding right now, we're in the last segment. Okay, so transport tax savings. If you missed the show last Tuesday night, this was an amazing show, and it turned out to be about way more than just tax savings. We're talking asset protection, insurance, regulations, and really how to CYA in auto transport. First show of the year, next Tuesday night, is Midwestern Car Carriers. Guys, we are. I think we have either crossed the threshold or we're about to. It's hard to measure sometimes, but we've got some amazing shows lined up next year already. Midwestern Car Carriers out of Kansas City. They're going to be on next Tuesday. Jack Cooper comes back next month. We've got ARI Fleet Management on next month. That's going to be insane. And guys, you don't know, hey, are you saying that to yourself right now? Who is ARI? Let me tell you something. You definitely want to know. Fleet management companies are a huge part of the auto transport industry ecosystem, and we're going to meet with ARI live on Auto Transport Intel with Black Book. I've talked about car home delivery in the past. Well, we're going to do a Draver show. Anthony Montero's going to be back, and if you are anywhere near executive, dealer, and automotive information, Anthony Montero has been all over the place. It's so exciting. We're going to have him back. I have a great panel. Carquetta's going to be on the show. Jay and the team at Carqueta are coming on the show on Auto Transport Intel to talk about where auto transport meets inventory and dealers. Again, we keep going into that crossover, and we're not going to stop. It's where it's at. Plateau, we're going to do a Plateau show. What is Plateau? If you saw a couple weeks ago, we started talking about Plateau. So you want to check out, what was that called? Expecting Unicorn Transport. Go to the final segment, and we talked about Plateau. Okay, hey, who's this? All right, well, if you have seen this logo anywhere, by the way, where did my... Oh, I changed the screen. Ha, that's pretty funny. Hey, if you've seen this logo anywhere, you're going to see these guys on Auto Transport Intel. We got a super secret panel coming up. Shh, don't tell anybody. DOT compliance, we said it was every other Wednesday. It's going to be every Wednesday. Dispatching Live is the load board search advice every Thursday at noon. But we did a Christmas Eve special last week, so Sue's taking the week off. She gets some downtime, and so she deserves it. So we're not going to have a Dispatching Live on Thursday, but we are going to have Cars on the Move on Friday again with Ty snowing in the transport parking lots. That's going to be awesome. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. I'm Jay. I'm your host, and I'm so happy that you're here with us. And that was really all intro. 41 minutes of intro, Jay? Holy cats. I'll tell you what. Do me a favor. Stick around, because after this, we're going to put it's going to be... Wow. Really?
Even with all the tools at our disposal, there is still about 48 million empty miles in our network. Empty miles happen when driver Bob makes his delivery and returns home without freight. After all, there aren't cars just waiting for delivery on every corner. But there is non-automotive freight, and our network is already active around the country. So what if Bob could leverage his trailer to deliver something other than cars? We searched high and low to find a way to do this within regulations, and we found it. We can do this now with current equipment, and we're working on innovative new trailers that will deliver even more cars and more freight. This is a total game changer, and here's the math. We're already paying the cost of those 48 million empty miles, and with no revenue to show for it. We can make $1.50 to $2.50 in revenue per mile with dry freight. Since dry freight is not as specialized as automotive, backhauls can be found without adding miles to Bob's trip. This means Jack Cooper will make even more profit, and our drivers will make even more money. It also means fewer miles in America's delivery network and lower carbon emissions for the country. Call it a win-win-win-win. For driver Bob, for Jack Cooper, for America, and for our investors. We're Jack Cooper, driving innovation for the 21st century.
That is Jack Cooper. What'd I say? You're the hybrid, right? Mixing freight with vehicle inventory. So thank you, Jack Cooper. And I'm excited to have Jack Cooper back on the show. Also, don't forget to go to jackcooper.com/careers to find out more about what's going on over there with hiring drivers. Now, I've got, you're going to hear the doorbell several times. I got people filtering in right now. And also, I did see, Ty, Kimberly is on fire tonight. So thank you so much, Kimberly, for keeping all of the information flowing in the live chat. And especially with when you triple that, quadruple that with, I don't know why we can't share the hyperlinks tonight, but that's okay. She's killing it. She's got, well, now there's an HTTP link, so maybe it eased up. Maybe the YouTube link managers lightened up, and because maybe they're Auto Transport Intel fans, and they were watching the show and they were thinking, I don't know why we were not going to let those guys share their information. And I hope everything else goes smoothly tonight. I'm double checking my audio, checking the audio of folks coming in. Man, the doorbell's ringing like crazy. And by the way, I think we're about to set a record for the number of people live on Auto Transport Intel on a Tuesday night. And so how appropriate that it is the final Tuesday nights live of the year. And this is, by the way, this is episode 170. Wow, I see everybody in there. So without further ado, hands on the buzzers. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for Wheel O Topics, December 2020. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jay.
Howdy, Jay.
How you doing, sir?
Doing great.
Paul?
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to go in order of saying hello and introducing. I'm going to start at the upper left on my screen, okay? Upper left, we've got Paul Meyer of Dealer Vendor Match.
Hey, how you doing?
Well,
Happy New Year.
I've got Happy New Year to you, Paul. And then, okay, to my left, I've got Paul Machine of Black Book. What's up, Paul?
hey guys, how's everyone?
Thanks for tuning in, Paul, and taking the time. I really appreciate it. I know everybody's busy and it's a wild week, so we'll try to go through these topics as fast as we can. Brian Riker from Fleet Compliance Solutions in the middle square to the left. What's up, Brian?
Middle Square.
Middle
Hey, Jay.
Square.
Hey,
It's
Ecosystem.
Hollywood
How are you?
Squares. I'm good, man. Are we going live tomorrow?
I want to try, but if we do, it'll be coming to you from O'Hare Airport. I land at 11:30 Central Time in Chicago. If I can find a quiet corner, we'll do it.
You let me know. I'll be at your,
As soon as I get off the airplane, I'll let you know. I'm in Clear Lake, Iowa tonight. I'm flying out in a little 8-seat plane in the morning.
I'll tell you what. If you want to just push it a couple hours into the afternoon, I'm flexible with that too.
I'll
So,
let you know when
yeah.
I get into Chicago tomorrow.
Awesome. Just doing business live. No problem. Lionel Yates, Center Square. What's up, Lionel?
How are you? I got to be Paul Lynn tonight, huh?
Dude. And that was a great show last week. I was watching it back. I loved it. I loved that show. So thanks for participating 2 weeks in a row. And that's a rare thing on Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live. So I appreciate it.
No problem.
Tim Scatellis in the square next to Lionel from Max Digital. Tim, thanks for joining
Hey,
us.
Jay. Welcome, everybody. I'll take Tim Scatlis for the block.
There you go.
Exactly. It's Hollywood Squares. Okay, lower left, Ty Thompson.
Hey, everybody.
What's going
One and the
on,
only.
Ty?
I'm excited to be here, man. Really am.
Wow. And by the way, we were going to have a full 9 cubes if Ron could have made it. So,
Whoa.
but you know what? I hope he's able to help that guy out with a frozen deck. That sounds awful. Right?
Not what you want to be
Thinking
doing.
about frozen deck.
Right?
Not this time
Frozen
of year.
deck.
Oof, oof.
Oh man, we'll have to talk about that for a few minutes of what I mean, what's involved there. But before we do that, final square, Mark Grodicke, buddy. Thank you
How's it
so
going,
much.
Jay? Guys, I'll take Ty for the win. I want Ty for the win. He's got the answers. He's got a lot of answers.
Wow.
Doing good. Happy
Wow.
New Year.
Hey man, thank you so much for your support and kindness. I
You're
really
welcome.
do appreciate that, buddy.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
Man, it's really amazing. And did you guys, did everybody get to take a little bit of time off over the holidays and contemplate of maybe, I don't know,
I'm still on time.
right?
Right?
I had this is the most time off I've taken off in a row, even though we're all at home.
Haven't we been home since March?
Yeah, right. But I've still been stressed out, right?
Sure.
March 16th to be exact.
That's right.
March 16th?
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. Okay, well, without further ado, hands on the buzzers. And here's the wheel. Okay, so now, let's see here. Okay, so I've got, let's see here. Do I need to make this bigger? Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm going to click the wheel. You're not going to hear it, but everybody else can hear it clicking away, okay? Takes about 10 seconds before it stops. It'll pop up the topic on the screen. And then we're going to try to keep there's 10 topics. We'll try to stick to 5 minutes a topic. That would be another 5 minutes. There's no way that's going to happen. So we're going to hit 11 p.m. Eastern, no problem. But if anybody needs to go, that's no problem either. And if you have a buzzer, use it. Okay. All right. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Clearly, I'm pretty wound up. All right, here we go. What's working in online events and social media strategy? It's interesting that came up first because it just so happens that was actually the first topic that I posted. Because we can't see anybody, right? People can't see other people right now. And so everything's been online. Anybody want to talk about an online event? No names, no company names, no specific names, but tell me something positive that's come out of it. Paul.
Okay. So everybody went on lockdown. We used to do events around the country, and which was great because there's nothing like an in-person event. So then the lockdown happened, and all these events got canceled due to travel restrictions. So most companies went online and struggled miserably. I was at one event where the guest speaker actually shut down the event after his opening talk and said, "Oh, thanks everybody for attending." And I was like, "What?" So I texted him. I said, "I don't know if you realize this or not, but you just shut down the entire event and said goodbye to everybody." So that's the way most events are going. However, I'm part of an organization that we have done several online virtual events. We had over 1,100 people at the last two that we hosted. So it can be done. You just need the experience and having done it a few times. So that was a great thing that happened. Our audience is growing as a result of the online events. And when we get back to in-person events, we're still going to do the virtual in conjunction with. So out of adversity comes opportunity. Just because life deals you some lemons doesn't mean you have to sit there and wonder what to do with them. You got to figure out how to make the ultimate frozen lemon smoothie. That's
there
you go.
That is a great frozen lemon smoothie. And by the way, I'm gonna pass it. I just want to say this. Here's one thing I wanted to say. I made a note that from now on, when anybody asks, okay, so tell us about your year and company in 2020. Just say this. Just say, obviously, we had COVID in 2020, but it affected my company, my process, my employees, and my revenue in these ways. Do not give me another 20-minute recap of how we got COVID in March and we sat home in April, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right.
I feel like we just kicked off when it comes to online events. I don't think that they're going to go away. I actually feel like there'll always be a component with regards to especially automotive going forward. But I feel like there's a lot of room left for creativity. And I'll applaud guys like you, Jay, are bringing a ton of it to the table. So it's things like this that are going to spur, I hope, the bigger companies that are out there. No one, I'm not going to name any names, but I've worked one that ends with an A, and I was, frankly, quite embarrassed with what they kind of presented as far as what they're going to try and put on in early 21. I think there's a ton of tools out there in the world to have fun and make this interactive. You've got a new generation of automotive folks coming up, trying to continually done what we've always done, bring the old model online. I don't know if that's really going to work. So I look forward to some creativity. And thank you, Jay, for hosting things like this, because I think you're spurring it.
Wow, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Of course, I work really hard to try to help, but I really appreciate that. And Tim, I sometimes when I say things brash is that I want to help. I see, right? Do you see like people are falling asleep on some of this stuff because it's it is. You said it well. The old model trying to be applied to the new model, you can't do it. You got to change it up. You got to find the route. So thank you for that. That's super cool.
Yeah, Tim's absolutely correct. I normally do 15 to 20 in-person live events a year, large trade shows, 5 to 10,000 attendees at them. Obviously, we didn't do that this year. And the group that I do that with, we did a miserable job presenting our virtual trade show. And I think that we tried to just emulate what a real live event is, and it didn't work. I really think that these hybrid live event and virtual events are going to be the way of the future. It allows us to reach a bigger audience, and we get that audience to attend without spending $1,000 on travel and hotel. And so that's $1,000 they'll spend with one of our other people at the event. And for me, I've been able to take the classes and presentations I do, and through platforms like the Auto Transport Intel channel, I can still present my information. We just have to be creative about it. I mean, I miss getting up in front of an audience. I speak from anywhere from rooms of 10 to 300. I love it, but I know we couldn't do it this year. But I think if we're creative, we've got a great opportunity to reimagine the trade show and not make it boring.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The biggest problem is the networking component. I don't think I've seen a great solution for that yet.
Well, let's imagine a third player video game like situation and turn that into the trade show where you commit to your time frame, you're immersed in it. We could walk up, I could tap you on the shoulder in the video game, which would be the trade show, and we could walk off in a private room and have a conversation as if we were in person. Just imagine your VR goggles like we're playing a multiplayer online game. That's the way these virtual trade shows should be.
It's a great idea, and so this will really, knock somebody out of the cab window, because Roblox, that's what the tweens are playing, and they've got like these online event games. There's actually a game where they're walking around in an event hall, and I'm thinking, you're going to freak people out if you tell them that we're going to have like a Roblox. But anyways, it's this kind of hybrid idea. It's amazing.
I'm looking for Sarah Connor.
Right. Actually, I was trying to think of what would be a fun auto transport video game idea. I honestly couldn't think of anything.
I say with Ty as the star walking the lot.
I was going to say, that's true. There it is. Take it to the auction and there's your game. Go find the car. Good luck.
Truck Lot Demo Derby 101. Let's see if we can run over someone's car.
That is a great idea. Huh.
Hey, by the way, just so everybody knows,
you can have a bump. Say it again.
Well, just so everybody knows, Brian did a great job there, what he just said. But Brian, tell everybody what you do.
What I do?
Yeah, you do equipment, right? So a lot of these big events, you get equipment to the event.
Yes, at these trade shows, they're generally focused on the towing or the trucking industry, and part of what I do is work with a large dealership chain that sells tow trucks and car haulers, and so we're doing live demos. The only live event I did this year was in Indiana, and we had probably 500 attendees at the show over the weekend, but we were demonstrating a large rotator tow truck, and I spoke with an attorney. We did some compliance training while we were there. We had a beautiful question and answer session with myself and an attorney from Tennessee, and it was a great event. But yeah, I work with a lot of equipment at these live events, so it needs to be hands-on where people can come put their fingers on the truck and touch it, feel it, see it, drive it. That I haven't figured out how we're going to do virtually yet.
And how about maybe some of those driving simulators? But I know that's not the end-all be-all. There's still a need. It will be awesome when we can see each other in person and go to a show. Maybe what would really help is if we were able to coordinate better, because when you get to the show, there's just kind of a randomness. So maybe we need to have a tighter, I don't know.
It can be done with an app if
Conference
you're willing
GPS.
to share your and share your information at the show. We're like nearby friends on Facebook. We could have nearby business associates at the trade show.
NADA has something like that. It's similar. Like everyone else has said, we've depended so much on conferences and events multiple times throughout the year where we can engage our current clients and new ones. This year's been a game changer. Talk about coming out of your cocoon and really wanting to spread your wings and learn something totally new. This was it. This was the year to do it. But I believe it set the foundation because it's not going back. I don't believe we'll ever go back to that process 100%. It's going to be more of a hybrid, right? So, and the companies who nail it down and figure that out and really do a great job, like Jay does. And I've been on Paul's show before. Paul does a phenomenal job of it. So that's going to be the way we're moving into the 21st century now. I love the idea about the game. Sim Life, that's the game that just came to me. Sim Life, you pick an avatar, you walk around and go grocery shopping, eat dinner with people and stuff like that. So, not a bad idea, actually.
Awesome. And Mark, I stepped on what you said. Will you repeat what you said?
I was just saying in the auto auction, find the car, and part of the game would be you lose points or you lose money if you miss damage on your inspection as it comes out of the gate for the driver. So it's kind of like I don't know, that part of it if it's going to be a game.
Kind of like real life.
That happens in real life. That's
So
right.
maybe you
Lose
have to
money
keep-
when you miss damage on the inspection.
Like in the Western games where you've got kind of like a coach to help make sure you got through that gunfight. Good job. So Ty is kind of your mentor that you keep, you answer to after you finish a mission. Oh man, this would be great. All right,
Game
cool.
Maker. I'm going to put it in front of him, see what he can come up with.
Yeah, that's right. We need a game developer on this. Okay, here we go. That was incredible. Thanks everybody for our first topic. See, and that was about 10 minutes. I told you we're in for a real long haul. Huh. Okay.
Unintended.
Hey. Usually, ask Kimberly. Inventory inspections, vehicle remarketing, and the supply chain. Now, I included this because it is quite common in auto transport to focus more on where are the cars, where are my loads, what's my equipment. But if you tune in to an online event, great segue, it's supply chain all day long. So, is there a way to tie in the supply chain conversation in a meaningful way for all the verticals to know that this is, right, this is part of, I don't know, somebody help me finish a sentence here. This is a tough topic.
The supply chain is key to everything. Every part is critical in it. And unfortunately, I don't think a lot of the small transporters, and I mean no disrespect, I was a small transporter myself, we don't always understand our place and our power in the supply chain. Very few 1 and 2 truck guys will read something like Automotive News or one of the other publications to even understand what is happening or look forward 6 months or a year, and then they wonder where the work went. So supply chain is critical. We need to figure out how to tie it together and have greater visibility for small transporter, not just the load planner, the broker, the large motor carrier, but the small guy needs to be able to see where the supply chain is going so that they can plan. Maybe 2021 is a great year to buy equipment and expand. Maybe it's not. That's just one part of it.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Please.
Taking a look, I think they need to, on the transportation side, taking a look at what the inbound flow of used vehicle inventory is going to be like for the next 6 months, especially the next 6 months. And then what happens after that? What's the supply of inventory going to look like in the used vehicle vertical specifically in 2022 and 2023? We're predicting we're going to see a dip in inbound production based on the shortage of sales we've had this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on into the next 2 years. An impact when you talk about what's going to happen after the next 6 months. I think the next 6 months it's going to be transportation's dream. There's going to be a massive inflow of inventory coming in.
And I'll tell you, just to reinforce, you got to look at the funnel of the funnel part of the supply chain, which is the last mile, and that unanticipatedly became the main problem for most supply chains that are out there. So I think this is a detrimental cycle for auto haulers. This is the time that they're going to be deemed as the most important. I mean, it's coming to that right now. More and more based on how cars are moving, where they're moving from. But the last part of that cycle, it's everything, and that's where the auto hauler is.
Here, here. Yeah, no, I you guys said everything I was thinking like that. Yeah, I'm not sure how to make supply chain more interesting or applicable to the owner operator. That's just, Ty and I see it over and over. So what's your business strategy? Well, get me a load board. Really? That's I understand, but I don't want to make fun, but I do want to help, because you don't want to stay in that mindset for too long.
As Paul was saying, if we could better understand what is coming 6 months down the road. I used to I hauled mostly lease turn-ins for a major manufacturer, and I used to get sales reports from them, and I would know, all right, we're predicting we had a volume of 340 cars in your market this month that were red carpet leased. We're predicting 80% of them will be turned in on month 34, 35, 36. I could plan almost to the exact number how many units I was going to have to transport 2 to 3 years down the road. And that was because I was on a closed loop dedicated cycle. But we can do the same thing even with the random lanes. You just look at where stuff is being bought, where it's being sold. And most of us are moving used inventory, so it's easy to figure that out. There are all sorts of reports in the used car market as to what is sold, where it is. It's just a matter of knowing your freight. They teach this for the dry van, the refrigerated, the flatbed markets. There's trade associations out there to do a great job teaching this to those owner operators to watch their lanes. You don't necessarily run where you want to run as a driver. You run where the work is going to be. And so we just need to watch and follow that. That is all. So make them understand how important it is. I'm a teacher at heart, so everything with me comes back to education.
Right.
You did a great job when you showed Carvana. What you need to add to that now is what Vroom did in Q3, and then what CarMax did in Q3. I helped 7 people this past week, find deals and opportunities. Not one picked up those vehicles. 2 were individuals who work for a dealership group, and these were retired couples. That's all they do is they drive. And I thought to myself, I said, that's an opportunity for a professional driver, a car hauler. That should be, to your point, find the opportunity, find that lane. There's that lane. The lane is right there.
Mm-hmm.
As I've said on many shows, the lane is in the dealership and in the customer's driveway.
Yeah, and so the next level, because it never ends in as far as developing and progress, but a next level is we need to find a better way for the carrier to tap into those that are identifying where the carrier isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys. Good. That was a good one. Okay, 9 minutes on the clock, so we're done with that one. Let's go to the next one. Here it comes. I know.
I'm setting a timer to keep myself at 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, why is everyone hiring drivers, and how do I keep my best carriers? I point this out because as long as I've been asking this question, isn't near as long as how how long companies have been looking for more drivers. We see this in fleet. We see this everywhere. But why? Why is everybody hiring, and why don't? What's going on here? There's
Churn.
Churn. Why is
Truck drivers are nomadic by nature. They don't stay put. So they just jump from carrier to carrier, different name on the door, same exact job, and they're disappointed every time.
Wow, that sounds like a fortune cookie.
True story.
That's a short, sweet answer. We can move on.
Hey, it's truth.
Well,
you can't argue with the truth.
Is there what can you? All right, let's say there's no long-term solution, but what can you do as a band-aid? I mean, how do you get the best that there is to get?
Well, there is a program. I'm going to actually, I'm really working on a project down in North Carolina right now. I'm probably going to bring Brian along with me, and we've come along with a organic truck driver opportunity for people who are already set in their communities. And I found out that the distance from the 18 years old up to 21 years of age, a lot of guys get caught out there, so they're not really offered the opportunity to be a truck driver during that period of time. So they have to make it through 3 years past the time that they graduate past high school to get to the point where they want to be interested in a CDL. So we're coming up with a process in North Carolina where the drivers will come in an organic fashion to ride in the passenger seat for a decent period of time, all the way up until the time that they're 21, to learn the detailed part of operating with the compliance, paperwork, safety checks, everything that's included in terms of how to get something from one place to the other, teaching them the logistics until it's time for them to drive. So we'll start off with them driving trucks that are under 26,000 pounds to give them responsibility, and then they'll graduate up into the passenger seat in the commercial truck. And they'll learn from that perspective. Once they learn from that perspective, they'll be within a period of time to get their CDL. And now that they learned it correctly, you put them inside the driver's seat. And you build an organic circumspect of loyalty. It comes from it because people appreciate what it is that you've done for them. Most of these guys are out here, and it's the strangest thing. I talked to Brian about this. I talked to a lot of guys about this because that's their problem. Hey, I need a driver. And all of a sudden, this guy comes along. He has a CDL, and he's not working anywhere. Number one, that's a suspect right there. Why do you have a CDL and you're not working for anybody? You've been in the business for 15 years, but you're not driving for anybody? That's strange. Yeah. Is that somebody you want to spend $10,000 to $15,000 to onboard your company, put him in as a truck driver, and then leave your truck down in Georgia with the keys locked in it?
It happens more than you would think.
On the fuel island.
Is there,
Yes.
industry, do you guys have like a master's CDL driver? Like, Paul, a dealer, his best bet, he raises up. He finds them in high school, pays for their internship for technical school, puts them through the service shop, and tries to grow them to become a master technician. Is there something like that that you guys could do there? So these are master certified CDL drivers.
I wish there were.
That's a process that I said I'm going to work with Brian with in something huge we're doing down in North Carolina, and with the company that we're going to work with, they're a huge company, and they love to see stuff like that. Mm-hmm. How the community is going to work directly along with them as a company and where they can fit in. They're going to love it.
An apprentice program is a great solution to this, because let's look at it. Where we have driver churn are only in certain segments of the trucking industry. If we look at the LTL companies, ABF, Yellow Freight. I'm going blank on a couple of them, but ABF's a great one. They have a very low turnover. Most of your LTL companies, union or non-union, I'm not making it that issue, they have a low turnover among their drivers because it's a different type of job. They get to just be a driver, but they've had to earn their way into the position they're at and the run they're on to where they don't want to lose it. When we're doing irregular route, truckload, over-the-road stuff, that burn. The people we don't respect our drivers the way we should. We make them promises we can't keep because we can't get them home on time for events beyond our control, and then they get upset with us and they leave. So it's a matter of creating a work environment that has a job for everybody's work preference. Some people like to be out for a month and run over the road. Some want to be home every 2-3 days or every night. We need to be a very versatile employer and have different segments of the market we capture with our trucks so we can have different employees to make them happy. It's all about pay. It's not all about benefits. Some of the best jobs I ever had when I was an employee were not my top paying jobs, but I worked harder for them than I did for anybody else because there was appreciation and respect there.
It's all about the culture that you create that keeps.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you find in car hauling world is, you know, Jay and I were talking to a large company here last week, and Jay keeps asking, well, what's your mentor? What's your training program? How do you guys put this together? How do you teach people? And I'm like, Jay, time out. What you do, everybody does it different. But one of the things that seems to work well is if you've got an established driver. See, and that's it. I hate to interrupt myself, but that's the thing. Car hauling is not easy, and it's not for everybody. I mean, you have to be a special kind of weird to really want to be a car hauler, because who wants to crawl on 2 pieces of steel holding up a 6,000-pound truck over your head? Maybe those hydraulic hoses will hold it up, I hope. But anyway, different company, and I think that's where ATI, this relationship, this network is really growing, because you're starting to see transparency among carriers. So carriers have typically and traditionally always been very territorial. I don't want you to know where I run. I don't want you to know who I haul for. I don't want you to know anything about me, right? So what that does is that closes off quite a few doors, in my opinion. And it's not that we need to talk about whose account I have versus whose account Brian has. What we need to talk about is, you know, okay, drivers. Well, how do you train your drivers? How do you keep your drivers? I had 20 trucks. My retention rate was out of the world. Why? Because I spent a lot of one-on-one with my drivers. And I know that they're hard to find, they're hard to replace. So if I got a guy who's got a problem, I'll take the time, even though sometimes I don't have the time. I'll find out, I'll listen. And then come to find out, him and his wife had a fight 2 weeks ago, and he's still mad about it. Okay, well, how do we get past that? You know, for a long time, I told people I don't own a trucking company. I'm a psychiatrist. I spend all my time counseling people, but that's what it takes. So you get into larger companies. Well, how do they do it? Well, they do it different than, say, Ty, or they do it different than Brian. But point being, I think you're starting to see a level of transparency that you haven't seen, especially in the car hauling world. And I think part of it is, you know, hey, come here. We don't have the answers, but if we work together, maybe there is a chance we could all figure this out. So the retention part, the driver part, you know, you guys have seen me out in the transport parking lot. You guys see those cars, those big, heavy cars up there. So again, it's not an easy industry, but I will say, and, you know, Robbie over at LMR, we had him on the other night, and he really reminded me, not intentionally, but he said, this is a very lucrative job. You can make an incredible amount of money. You can have a trade, a skill that not everybody can have. So, you know, a lot of times we get these phone calls, hey, I want to get in it. Well, what do you know about it? Nothing. Maybe it might be a good idea to go drive for somebody for a little while. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Hey, Ty, to piggyback on that, retention is something that every industry and just about every company struggles with. And the reason you had a level of success with it, and the other companies that also have success with retention, is something that goes back to what I heard years ago from a guy named Jackie B. Cooper. And he said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is amazing what people will do for you without even knowing what they're going to do for you, just because they want to do for you because they know how much you care about them. They're not just a number to you.
Mm-hmm.
They are an integral part of your organization. You care about their success. You care about their happiness. And they respect that. And these are warriors that will do anything for you. And that's creating a culture. And like I said, I don't care what the industry is. Any company can do that if they take the time to do what you did.
Thank you. You're right.
Well, spoiler alert, and that's where it really, I get really upset with companies that they say they do, and the community and the culture and the whatnot, and it's a conveyor belt out the back door. So I mean, and that's the thing, man. When people find out that you said and you're all this great stuff, and then you're still like the money's not right, and there are a lot of things that kind of get swept under the rug, and then that gets around. Yeah, but my point being that I want companies that say they're great to actually be great. Is that so crazy?
But that's all subjective. It may be great to one driver and not to another. We need to hire the right drivers in the first place. Hire the personality, not the skill. You can teach the skill.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Well, I applaud what you guys are doing in North Carolina. We know there used to be a university, and I'd like to see. I think you're right. It's time again to. I think wouldn't there be companies lined up to see if they can help recruit. I don't know. Love it. I can't wait to hear more, Lino.
Yes, indeed. I look forward to working with Brian on that for sure.
Cool. And we'll be talking about it on Auto Transport Intel, the car shipping business channel. Okay, so all right, Jay. See, that's why I have the horn, because I toot my own horn, and then I spin the buzzer. I think that was another 10 minutes. So we're doing great, though. Love this. Thank you, guys.
Is Tim still alive?
Here,
Yes. In fact, he's up. Well,
I'm staying in my lane.
He's staying in his lane. Yeah, and you know what? And on that note, I appreciate dealers, auctions, carriers, and essential mobile apps as we move into the morass of there's technology out the wazoo. So APIs, right? API is talked about in almost any serious technology conversation now. Because I don't know how many mobile apps there are, but if you add, this, Tim, if you take all the dealer apps, right, and now all the inventory apps, and all the car hauler apps, and all the, holy mackerel, you're into dozens of apps. You've got apps out the apps.
Just anybody trying to stay on top of what it takes to operate, regardless of the business you're in today, right? You need to be on shows like this to just stay ahead of the game. You really do.
Well, all right, man. Somebody call the marketing guru. That was the soundbite of the year. Who wants to? Mark, Mr. Technology. Come on, Mark. Where are we at here? What do we do?
Well, there is a lot of technology out there and a lot of new things coming. We have new things coming, and I think trying to keep up with that is tough. And 2021 is going to be a good example of trying to keep up and trying to see what people have in their back pocket and what they come up with. It's there's a lot out there, and I think there's things that fit your need. Everybody has like a little niche or a little something that they like, and kind of go with what works for you and that you're comfortable with is what I think is good advice for the guys in the industry. There's a lot. There's Ship.Cars, Super Dispatch, Hawley, Cars Arrive, Truckify, Super Dispatch. Dispatch Center is going to have an app that combines a lot of the things. There's a lot. People like using what they use, and we're going to try to embrace that over on Dispatch Center and in Pro ABD, and help the brokers and the shippers dispatch to people where they want to do their business. It doesn't have to be on our platform, or just because it's not their platform, you can't engage in it. We're going to try to open that up, and if you want to dispatch to somebody on ship.cars, you're going to be able to. If you want to dispatch to Super Dispatch, you're going to be able to. Where does the guy want to manage his business, and how is he doing that? And we're gonna open that up in a lot of ways that I think people will find beneficial, and let them use what they're comfortable with, what they like. So, and beside that, I think in the end, with some of the new things that we have coming out as well, we're gonna make take a little chip out of that marketplace and make a stronger foothold than where I think that we are right now. We have some really good things coming.
So I think what Mark just said there, I don't know. I just learned a whole bunch there about all of the technology in this industry. I apologize for not knowing, but what I saw in 2020 was everybody was forced to get the most out of whatever technology you were using, because we were just forced into this situation. And 21 is going to be about, I know the company that I work for, it's doing similar things to what Mark is doing. We said, okay, this is what we see going on. So we've been working on things for next year. So if you're a guy out there, you got a lot out of the technology you use this year, don't think you're going to get the same out of that again next year. You've got to be looking to, man, it sounds like a ton of awesome things coming on up next year. I would continue to research and listen to it. Sounds like some, really good stuff, Mark.
And so, Tim, to your point, this is what when Ty and I went to used car week, I think it was, with the fintech, right? We're hearing about fintech, okay? This is 2 years ago. Fintech. Everybody's dealers in fintech, and we're like, what is everybody talking about? What? We had the same eye-opening, and this is the problem. If all the verticals stay isolated the way they've been, nobody's going to know what each other's talking about. That has to stop.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about being transparent and working together. Open APIs. What I really like about the industry today is the young folks who work on our product desk are. They pick up the phone and then they're ready and willing to talk to somebody who may or may not be a competitor to get the product over the line. I would encourage you guys to have your people doing the same thing.
I think we're way behind on our technology. In the freight world, they move millions of shipments a day, and they've mastered electronic data interchange or open API or whatever we want to use, so that the carrier can use their own software. They can send it all digitally to their truck. It doesn't matter what platform they're using in the truck. It doesn't matter what platform they're using in the back office. We can follow that chain from shipper to carrier to driver to proof of delivery, back to the shipper to accounting seamlessly. We really need that type of automation because we are in the world where we have to do more with less. We need that type of automation for our back office. We need that type of automation for compliance. When I audit log books, I need to know where that driver was, so I need access to dispatch records. But when they're dispatching their fleet of 10 drivers across 15 different applications, it makes it almost impossible to make sense of what they're doing. So programs like Mark's talking about that consolidate multiple dispatch platforms into one, that way the shippers can use what they want, the receiving auction can use what they want, and the carrier can use what they want. It's all data. It's all the same. We all collect the same information no matter who we're collecting it for. That is the direction that I see apps going, that we need apps to go in. Guys like Mark, they're going to make it happen. We need this to catch up to the regular trucking world. Our rates are catching up, which is a bad thing, because it means they're going down. So we might as well leverage the technology for efficiency so we get the most out of the rates that we're getting paid in 2021.
I engage 2 to 3 conversations a day with entrepreneurs, new startups, existing clients who are really, we came up with an expression, they've thrown the box out. They're not even trying to think inside the box. They're throwing anything out there. I'm thinking about doing this. Will your data do it? I might get a hold of a couple of my data science team. We put something together and we come back, yeah, I think we can make it work for you. But how you make it work is on your end. And that brings a very critical point that everyone needs to listen to. People, process, technology on an API. You got to have the right people first. You got to have the right process with the right people. Then the technology works. Otherwise, you can have the best API. It's just a fax machine if no one knows how to use it.
Well said.
Yeah,
That's very true in automotive also, because we see a lot of great technologies where, there's no process, there's no utilization. And then they say, oh, the software sucks. No, it's not the software that sucks. It's you that sucks for not using the software properly.
Yeah.
Hey, just want to mention real quick before it goes by, Ron, he was going to be our 9th square, and he was out in the field working, and he threw in $100 into the super chat. Ron is a super fan of ATI. It's super cool, man. Wish you could be here with us. You'll be in the next one, and thank you so much. And helping another guy out, that's so awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I think we covered this topic. I want to say this. Here's my contribution to it, is that this is everybody. Starting in 2021, I want to see everybody. I've had some odd conversations with a few folks, but the doors are open. The ATI doors are open. Everybody is welcome. If we haven't spoken yet, we should. Because this is the Car Should Be Business channel where I am welcoming everybody. And so let's change. Let's not look back. Let's look forward.
Hold on. Wait. I want to interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Tim. Because Tim has this digital technology for dealers, right? And in this technology, it keeps track of your inventory, how much you paid for your inventory. Give us a quick rundown, Tim. I'm going somewhere.
Our platform helps dealers from procurement to marketing, pricing, to all the way to disposal, and all the data and analytics behind it to help make good decisions along the way and in the future.
Right. Okay. So here's why I love this show, because we got a guy like Tim on here, and Tim knows what I'm getting ready to say, but I bet he doesn't know it. So let's say Tim has Lithia. What were some of those other big names you had?
Hendrick, Penske, Luther, Chambers. Isn't Lithia big enough?
Lithia is big enough. We'll just go with one. So this is what I love about this show. The Lithia Group moves a couple thousand cars used a month.
A week?
A week. Okay, a week. Okay, so Tim's got this incredible something that helps dealers from procurement to out the door, is something like that. Guess what Tim left out in the middle? Transportation.
Oh yeah, no.
So we got to get together.
That's never
Tim.
happened.
Well, the last time I was on, somebody reached out to me and said, I think we're talking to your company. So 21 will be a year where I'll just put out there where Max Digital probably will be working with transporters. We've got some cool new things, because really inventory, Paul will tell you, he said it a couple times already. I mean, inventory is going to be so tight the next 18 to 24 months for dealers. And profits are going to be way up, and moving the right cars quickly to optimize that profit is going to be a big business.
So
Nothing happens
to me,
without transportation. Nothing.
well, this to me illustrates why ATI exists, because I always say, go talk to the car dealer. Go talk to the car dealer. You can find out what he's doing, and then you can see if you can service, if there's a need, and you can provide a service. And this is why I love having car digital guys like Tim and Paul and these guys, both Pauls, because we're getting to hear the other side of this. Whereas if we just stay in our lane, which is transportation, we just talk about how we don't have any technology, how we suck, how life is so hard and so terrible. I've always said for a long time, you go talk to a car dealer and just genuinely listen, be interested, and he will start telling you, this is where I get my cars, this is how I get them home, this is what I need, this is what I don't need. And I think, again, I'm really thankful to have you guys on here, because it really opens up our eyes to say, okay, wow, Lithia Group, that's a lot of cars. Somebody's got to be in charge of that somehow, some way. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, thank you. That's good.
Oh. That group is number 3 on the top 10 dealer list, by the way. So that's no small feat.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that context, Paul, because I'm always, today I was looking at, I'm like, I think I'm ready to create a new list. All of the companies that are moving cars and how they're having a significant impact. And as I was like, whoa, that's a gigantic list. I don't have time to work on that right now. I mean, because you think about it, we're not talking just auto transport fleets, but we're talking about the technologies that are connecting dealers, auctions, carriers, automakers. Oh my gosh. And now you've got new services like the Acura online. And I mean, every OEM's getting into the used car online. Well, that's going to connect to a transport. I mean, it's just insane how this is a giant web.
All centered around that big block of ice on the hot asphalt. I love when you guys brought that up on the show. I'm like, man, nothing hits home stronger than that.
Tim Skatelis is the man. Mr. Melting Block of Ice.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
If you thought 2020 was a year for the Carvanas and the Vroom movements, I think you just wait and see. Lithia has their driveway product that they're going to be rolling out. Someone mentioned Ford, GM, Acura. Listen, it's just getting started with this, home delivery. Lionel, I think, mentioned it before, the last mile. I refer to the last mile as that guy's driveway. I think that's what you're saying, but that's what I think of.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Get comfortable getting there. I don't know how to do that, and it's interesting to hear you guys try and solve that problem. So if Ty and Mark and Brian, if I could be a sounding ear for a dealer, I know a bunch of them. I'm happy to help.
What's interesting is that nobody steps up and said, let's do this, right? At least in the automotive industry, it's always, they have to be forced into it.
Yeah.
All right. The consumer's screaming for years, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. And the car dealer's like, no. We're doing it our way, We're doing it our way. A disruptor comes in, and rather than learn from the disruptor, they talk smack about the disruptor. Oh, this guy's not making any money. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. They don't have that. Instead of, wow, here's somebody that came into our cafeteria, walked straight to the head of the line, and took our lunch and sat down in our chair. This goes on for so many years until finally the OEM's like, holy shit, this guy got the number 8. But he's not doing anything right. But still, with not doing anything right, they're number 8. We have to get our act together. And then they then they show up at the party. It's just an interesting observation.
And very descriptive. I saw the cafeteria. I was wondering what's for lunch. Oh man, okay. So here we go. Let's do another topic. That was amazing. Get this train rolling. Oh my goodness. I think we're not even halfway through. But really, if anybody needs to go or wants to stop or, whatever it is, we're good. Okay, we have 6 left. Okay. So we're halfway. What VIN data and marketplace trends do I need? Wow, this has Paul Machine's name all over it. What? I mean, right, and so specifically, the idea behind this question is, here I am. I'm in auto transport. By the way, Silver Mint is in the live chat. I'm looking for solutions to become more efficient. Paul, what? Guide us.
I can't really talk about any companies that I know that are developing some stuff, but you showed a picture of that super tanker that was flipped, right? Because of the way they loaded that super tanker. Too many of the larger vehicles on one side. VIN data could properly, with the right algorithm, with the right program, can say, run a run list of all the vehicles that need to be loaded on a car hauler, and say, this is, if you position the vehicles slot A, slot B, slot C, however you name them, you'll get the best efficiency, load balance, your stability on curves will be better. All of that can be factored in if you have the right VIN data, because you need to know all the specifications. What's the height from the wheel on the ground to the top of the roof? So you can figure out center of gravity per vehicle.
And I will attest right now, we do this every Thursday on Dispatching Live. When we're looking at a load board, what the first thing we do in the dispatch department is, what are the dimensions? It's absolutely true. Without that basic information, we are flying blind, and we're gonna mess this up.
You need to know the right weight for that vehicle. Electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles, those batteries, they're pretty hefty, and so you got to understand what the weight is. If you've got a Chevrolet Cobalt and it's a hybrid, that's not weighing the same as a Chevrolet Cobalt that's just a full cylinder engine, right? So it's totally different. Or what if it's an all electric vehicle like a Tesla? That battery is pretty heavy. You need to understand what those are.
Yeah, and actually I want to do an EV and battery show, but it seems a little premature. But yeah, I've been trying to follow that information. I don't even know how to get into that topic yet. But
Well, there are 9. All the manufacturers are getting into it. Just listen to the news. But there are 9 startups, and they have raised billions. Just think about that for a second. 9 electric vehicle startups have raised billions to produce all electric vehicles. They're going to start coming to the market. You got Bollinger Motors. You have Byton Technologies.
Arrival, do you know Arrival, that one? Did you see that one? It's like
No.
an EV van. Yeah, there are many.
So Rivian Electric.
Yeah, that one's big.
With Amazon for 100,000 delivery vehicles. Lucid Motors just got $1 billion from Saudi Arabia. I mean, that when Saudi Arabia is throwing $1 billion at an all-electric company, to manufacture a vehicle, it tells you they see where the trend's going to go. Polestar's another company. Lordstown and GM just did a special purpose acquisition deal, raised almost $1 billion for that. Not that GM needs more money, but that's an all-electric vehicle. That's the Hummer's going to be based off of. So it's pretty impressive when you take a look at what's coming and how to better manage that information is have the right data. You've got to have the right data to make the right decisions.
And Ty, we've recently talked to fleets that are talking about equipment, and aren't they talking about being able to? They were talking about length. Were they talking about length? What was it about newer equipment that they were talking about focusing on? Because they're going to need it, aren't they?
Right. Well, we actually learned the term when we were in, I believe it was Atlanta at AHA. One of the first ones we went to, we met Trevor, and he was talking about you way out before you cube out. Did I say it right?
Yes.
So, okay, there, Brian. Yeah. So, Brian, you can take over. You know this one better than anybody.
The issue is we got the 80 car hauler, but we did not get the weight increase to go along with it. So 9 units still puts you at a 80,000 pound gross, which is legal on most United States highways. So we need that increase to 92 to 96,000 pounds, either by just increasing the allowable weight limit on axles, which, contrary to a lot of people's popular belief, it will not cause additional damage to our highways. Our infrastructure can handle it. Or we need to add the extra axle, which causes geometry problems building a car hauler because of the way we need to stack the cars. So right now, we, in the dry van world, picture the boxes in the trailer, that's your cube. Generally, those guys will cube out long before they hit the 80,000 pound gross for the tractor trailer. We're exactly the opposite. We run out of weight hauling capacity, yet we could still squeeze another 1 to 2 vehicles on that truck. It's not efficient for our transportation network to run these trucks at less than full capacity just because we have some arbitrary limits that were frozen back in 1991, where the feds prohibited the states from increasing weights above what they already were. It causes problems outside of the car haul world too, but we're talking about car haulers today. We are specialized equipment. We have special length allowances. Some states give us special vertical clearance allowances. We should have some sort of consideration for weight allowances. That way we can be efficient here.
Yeah, what Brian's saying to all your car dealer guys out there is when you call and you say, hey, I've got a load, and you forget to tell us that they're all F-150s, 9 of them, and then you get upset because we only delivered 4. That's what Brian's talking about.
What I'm saying is, for all you car dealers out there, you are close to your legislators in town, your active business member. They'll listen to you because your dealership employs 50 or 100 or 150 of their constituents. Tell them that you need relief for your trucking partners so that we can move the cars for you in a more cost-effective manner. And they will listen to you long before they'll listen to a trucking company owner that has 50 or 100 employees across 40 states. You represent 150 voters for them. They go, you have to be in an area where your congressman or your senator is on one of the key transportation or infrastructure committees. We need you to speak up and talk to them on our behalf so that they will give us what we're asking for on size and weight.
So we can serve you better.
Absolutely.
Throw that in there.
Well, that's the whole purpose. We're serving them better. We add value to our services. It's not always about increasing your rate per mile just to increase your rate per mile. There has to be a give and a take. We need to give better value, whether it's expedited service so the car gets to their lot and gets sold for Saturday instead of getting there next Monday, and now they're waiting 4 days before they can sell it and they lost $80 in value on the car or whatever it is. It's expedited service. It's damage-free service so the car comes in sale ready. Maybe it's the extra service of giving that car a visual once-over inspection before we load it and telling them there's something wrong with it so that they don't waste their money bringing it to their dealership only to send it back to the auction. Maybe it's value-added service of getting them all of their vehicles in one truckload instead of needing 2 or 3 trucks to come into the yard. Or maybe it's value-added service in that hotshot expedited service so that they can service that key customer and you can get that one critical car that they have to them. That's what it's all about. But as our partner, we need their help so that we can provide these services to them.
And that's why guys like Mark at Superflow are working with other technologies and companies to try and move towards those kinds of visible solutions where you don't have to go through, oh, I didn't know it was 9 F-150s. Nobody knew. Well, that's crazy.
I have an interesting observation. So we just heard that billions of dollars are being raised for electric technologies. Yet, at the same time, a brand like Cadillac, which we all know, is shrinking their dealer force in direct relation to many of those dealers not wanting to invest in the infrastructure that's needed to accommodate the next level of electric vehicles that are coming to market in the next few years. That is an interesting observation.
I think
That means Cadillac doesn't have confidence in the electric vehicle, but they should, since their parent company, General Motors, seems to with their partnership with Lordstown Motors and some others.
I think they have. I disagree, Brian. I think they have confidence in the vehicle. I think that they feel like there's a demand. I think I'm going to go with the OEMs are concerned with the sales process, and they all want more control over it. And by shrinking the number of dealers, I think the OEMs like consolidation. They like hearing that all these big companies are buying these small dealers. If they're putting the deals together themselves, they're signing off on them. They get the big
True,
building.
it gives them consistency among how their brand is
I
represented.
think it's around the sales process. Sorry to all the small dealers. I think my father was a small business owner. It breaks my heart to see these small families lose their dealerships and close up. It really does. But it's where we're at today.
Yes, it is. Consolidation, unfortunately, sometimes we're going to have to give up our independent business to save the jobs for our community and for our team members that were there to support us. Consolidation is a survival tactic today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, harsh turn, harsh. Okay, no, good stuff, really good stuff, man. I'm loving this. And again, anybody that needs to go, we're halfway through. I apologize for how late this show goes, but man, I'm telling you, this is killer content. Right now, somebody's going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm not a part of it. Is the repo market as important as you say? Why or why not?
Yes.
Don't everybody jump at once.
Well, that's a real sensitive issue. But
Yes, it is.
It's
Yes, it is.
real. Lenders have, at least on paper, they've started the process of the repossessions that they've been stalled on. Forbearance is gone, and assistance doesn't look like it's coming in enough time. Where the next 6 months we see close to 2 million repossessions, maybe more, depending on how severe the shutdowns continue on into 2021. So what does that mean for the business? Well, lenders are looking for ways to reduce their recovery loss dollars. So how quickly can they get that vehicle from the customer into the auction? If they can convince the customer to do a short sale or a voluntary repossession, they can bypass 3 critical steps that's in an involuntary repossession, and possibly preserve and care for this customer on the next opportunity. Because you got to look, most of these people that are in this position, they're not the normal subprime customer. These were professional people, restaurant owners, business owners, managers of retail environments, whether it was thank God it's Friday, a TGIF or a closed down Kohl's store or Sears, right? These are all professional people, and they're stable. They know how to make good money. They just have had a challenge recently, and they have prior history showing willingness to pay. So to care for that customer from getting that vehicle out of their driveway to the auction helps the lender, helps the customer, and also can help the customer get into another vehicle, which means the dealer is going to buy more inventory to be able to service this category. Now that particular customer set, they're going to be looking for the sub $10,000 price range vehicle. And that is gold in our market today. And you know where you find those vehicles? You don't find those at the lane, at the auction. You find them in the customer's driveway. That's where you find that sub $10,000 vehicle.
Those cars aren't going to the sale.
Right.
No way.
Mm-hmm. If the dealer sees it, they're going to keep it. But if you're picking up a repossession and you happen to see, because the average family owns 2.5, 3 vehicles, and you happen to see a vehicle that might be a good sale, mind if I put an offer on it for you? Because a smart car hauler somewhere has a relationship with a buyer for that vehicle, or a dealer group might want that vehicle, and can say, I'm going to put an offer on this vehicle. That's a customer who's financially strapped, doesn't realize they might be able to sell that car. I threw the box out a while ago. trying to think, how to create opportunities where people don't see them. That's an opportunity if you can buy that car from that customer.
Absolutely.
Paul, the question, I follow the weekly updates from Black Book, and you guys are consistently trying to predict what is going to be coming back into the market in the future, and it just seems like, repos are just this hanging out there, like the shoe waiting to drop on these repos. They're not at the level they are even in normal times. I think that's the kind of the question here is like from a hauling perspective, is this a gap, a hole in the industry for transporters?
I want to say this is that what's really interesting. I love that you said that, Tim, and I want to hear your answer, Paul, because while Carvana has led much of the dealer market to like chase them, is Carvana about to do that to auto transporters too?
I can't say that. I know that they've opened up their own auction.
Yeah,
Yeah, the answer, I'll take it. The answer is yes, Jay. And that goes back, Jay and I have these little back and forths occasionally where I'm like, look, man, if I'm a car dealer and my carrier's not giving me the service I want, and I'm really a car dealer, and I've seen it happen a bunch of times, screw you. We're going to go get our own truck. We're going to get our own trailer. We're going to get our own driver. We don't need you anymore. Well, we might need you for backup if we need you for backup. And I think, you guys talk about Carvana, and look at CarMax. CarMax has their own auction. They have their own transport company. They're doing that for a reason. It's because it's a block of ice and a hot asphalt parking lot. That's why. And I've tried to explain this for a long time to car hauler guys. You don't mess around with the car dealer's cars. He says, I got them, you go get them. I mean, there's not maybe Monday, Tuesday, and I'm on my way. And I think it's frustrating. I know when I say these things, Jay's like, dude, shut up. But I'm just telling you, it's out there.
What?
And they're setting the standard on all kinds of things. I mean, they really are, right? They're buying them out of the driveway. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Your example with CarMax's private fleet, they have everything from small trucks to do the final mile, 7 car, 9 car. They even have 4-car rollbacks that are traditionally used for the in-ops, the salvage, and the repos. They can manage 100% of their transportation in-house if they needed to. They have a fleet that can pick up a single disabled or wrecked vehicle from a customer, or they can move a whole truckload of them across the country. And it's because they weren't getting that service. So to answer the overarching question on, is the repo market important? It may be down right now, but it is absolutely important. It's important for vehicle suppliers, for certain people that are looking for a certain type of vehicle. It's important if we're going to have lenders that are confident in lending money to purchasers of automobiles. And face it, this is not a cash industry. It is a industry that runs on credit. So we need a healthy repo market, secondary market to help them recover their losses. But it's also a critical part of a lot of transporters' business. We had a couple of 2- and 4-car haulers just for handling the repos that created in-ops to transport. It is a critical part of some people's transport business. So when the floodgates open up and they can start processing repossessions on a grander scale, we're going to see the market hit with in-op vehicles, and we're going to see a premium rate for moving those in-op vehicles. So transporters need to be prepared for that today so they can jump on that opportunity tomorrow when it gets here.
And to your point, Brian, a lot of times when these disruptors come in, we've brought them in because we were not listening to the consumer. CarMax, they changed the game 20 some odd years ago, if not closer to 30 years ago, because they listened. Today, you don't hear anybody talking smack about CarMax in the car dealer world. Nobody. Because when you're in the cafeteria, Jay, listen up to this one. When you're in the cafeteria and CarMax comes in, okay, it is just understood. They just get up, they slide their tray over, and they leave because they understand that CarMax is going to take their lunch. They don't even fight it. They don't talk smack about them online or any of that stuff. So
You just said it.
Instruction.
We have so much infighting and smack talk that we are missing the large conversation. Now, that is an overgeneralization of what's happening. But if we look at the minutia of chat, it is stupid wedgies and all this stuff, and dispatchers are illegal. What a waste of time.
Tim, I think you were looking for more granular on the opportunity with the repossessions. Because the opportunity is to reduce the downtime on an involuntary repossession. Because right now, you pick up an involuntary repossession, it's got to get 3 formal bids on it. It goes to the repo lot, and I've heard you guys bitch about that. You know how terrible it is to pick up cars from a repo lot. If there's a way to inject a service to minimize that and be a partner with a lender, that's a tremendous opportunity.
Right.
There's good opportunity. We're working on the solution to that, Paul. I think we may have it figured out. Mark and I. We'll let you know.
Yes. So just keep
I'm kidding.
Paul, keep pointing out the constellations because we are paying attention.
Yeah, and Jay's right. This talk about educational. I mean, I've been doing it 20 years, and I'm sitting here learning all kinds of things that are mind blowing. So, love it.
Absolutely.
I think I'm about ready to tee out, though.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. If anybody, we're going to keep going. We have, I think, 4 more topics. If anybody wants to go, it's 11 Eastern. So, no hurt feelings.
It's Eastern here in the SAC.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, Happy New Year. I'm going to call it a night.
Tim, thank you.
Happy New Year, Tim.
Thank you so
Happy
much
New Year,
for
Tim.
joining us.
Good
All
night,
right, guys.
Ty.
Yes, thank you so
Happy
much.
holidays.
It was awesome. Happy holidays, you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so Ty is out, Tim is out, Paul Machine is out, and we're so lucky and thankful that they got to spend the time here with us. And I know, again, Paul, you're Eastern. Lionel, you're Eastern. Mark, you're Eastern. Brian, you're Eastern.
Yeah, I happen to be in the Central Time Zone tonight, but I've been
are
up
you?
since 2:45 a.m. Eastern. So,
Okay.
spin the wheel, monkey. Spin the
All
wheel.
right, let's do it. Let's see what we got here, and we'll see if we can. Oh man, we're close. Will consumer delivery ever affect a full-time company driver?
Yes.
It will, won't it? I mean, it's just so. Can you expand on that?
It's going to be part of the supply chain. I don't care if you're an owner, operator, or company driver, you're going to have to handle it. Just look at we'll go back to the trucking world outside of auto transport. J.B. Hunt, they started as a truckload carrier across the world, across the country, hauling truckloads of freight. Now they do final mile. They install appliances in your house. The same thing is going to happen here. We're going to have the truckload driver for the auto transport, whether he brings it back to a consolidation hub, and now Jack Cooper has small 3-car trucks to do that final delivery for Ford because Ford wants to put that car right in the customer's driveway. They want to consolidate their platform of dealers. Well, maybe we're going to go to the European model where we don't have dealerships in every little podunk town in the country, and we just have them in big metro hubs, and then they truck the car right out to your house for you. That's going to be a company driver position, whether it's for a major fleet or whether it's employed through the dealership directly or a company that specializes in that, but it's still going to be a company driver position to do that door-to-door service. So yes, it will affect every company driver out there, either in them personally doing it or their company changing their business model to allow it to happen. And it'll probably ultimately result in cutting down a lot of the long haul cross country traffic, because we're going to go to that 500-mile apart terminals, the hub and spoke system, the consolidation lots like all the other freight companies do, because guys don't want to be out for 2 weeks in a row. They want to go out Monday, be home Friday afternoon. The only way that happens is if they're only moving 400 or 500 miles. We'll change the way we pay the drivers. We'll change the way the vehicles are moved across the country, and we'll still get it done just as efficiently, because I can move a vehicle or a load across the country with 2 drivers, whether they're in the same truck together as a team, or this driver hauls it this far, this driver hauls it that far, almost as efficiently. The only issue we'll really have in car haul is we can't just interchange equipment like we do with a dry van trailer, but it's still going to change our lives. It really is. That's the way I see it from 30 years on the road.
Man, I agree. I agree with what you said. I mean, hub and spoke. Anybody that is used to just traveling cross country, stingers full from one pick to one drop. I know that's been part of the business model, but I think hub and spoke will change that for some folks, right?
We're already seeing it with Carvana's in-house trucking fleet. They do it that way. There are some bids at some of these trucking companies where you bid the run, not the truck, and one driver will load it. They'll drive to a meet point. They'll switch at a hotel. Then the other driver heads back towards home, and the other guy gets in the other truck with that load going in the other direction, so that they're out and back in 2 or 3 days. We already are handing off full trucks and loads at some of these companies, so there's no reason why. I don't see a reason why that's going to stop. I think it's going to happen more often as we focus on utilizing our assets. Just face it, when a 9-car carrier costs you $270,000 to $300,000 and you only can run it 11 hours a day because of hours of service limitations, we need to find a way to recoup those other 14, 15 hours a day we're losing with that truck. And as much as I always loved having my own truck when I was an active driver, it's not the end of the world to share a truck with somebody. And it's a great way to use your resources efficiently. And technology can help us with that. Proper software to do load planning and driver planning, and instead of it being up to your intuition to how to do it. I mean, UPS has a computer that tells their guys exactly where to turn. They have that whole left-hand turn thing for safety and efficiency that we've all heard about. There's no reason why we can't use stuff like that. There are software developers out there that can make this software to make our job efficient. Mark's products to consolidate everybody's dispatch.
I was just to say,
there can be a optimization, a route optimization, a load optimization function put in there. That's the way of the future. That's the way it's going. So absolutely, final mile consumer delivery is going to affect everybody in the industry.
The integration and evolution of what's happening with route planning and then load optimization. And I know from just some of the home delivery companies that focus on home delivery, they've got really intense route planning going on, because it's all about local pickup, delivery, service, test drives, which that topic might seem like a bedtime story to a 2,000-mile Stinger transporter, but the point of this topic is, that won't be forever.
Correct.
There will be an integration, and that hub and spoke, it's just happening. So, home delivery. I know when I first heard of it, I thought, next. And the more I've learned, I'm like, no, it's not next. It is next.
I envision carriers sharing consolidation break bulk terminals in areas. It happens in the LTL world with freight right now. You come down to Eastern Maryland and SIA doesn't go to certain areas and ABF doesn't go to certain areas. They bring all their freight into a hub, and then that local company does that final mile of it. I can see all these big boys doing the same thing. We'll have consolidation hubs all across the country. It could be a market to use the real estate that the big auto auctions have that will not have cars sitting on it anymore directly from sale, since they want to start selling them in the dealer's back lot and in the user's own driveway. So the cars still have to get moved somewhere. It's a great way to use that 50 acres of land that they have paved already at an auto auction just let the transporters rent it off.
Exactly. And now
the
you
cars
see
there.
adaptation of some of the physical auctions.
Yes.
Which is going to be required because, right, well, they're not all running all the cars they were before. What are you going to do with all that real estate? It's already paved.
Sure.
Oh, man. All right. I'm going to move on to the next topic. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, unless, Paul, you got something?
Yeah, to your point about the drivers doing installations and things like that, that's so on point. We were waiting for a dryer that took longer because of, the COVID and shipping and things like that. The drivers showed up, 2 drivers showed up today. They hauled the machine up to the 2nd story, hauled away the old machine, installed the new machine, and left.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the past, that would have just been drop off at the door.
Right. We're going to be doing that. We're going to be handing that vehicle off to its new owner, and we're going to be walking through the features of it, show them how everything works, do familiarization, inspect their trade-in for them, load it back up on their truck, and away we go with it. The same exact concept. It's already happening. It's just going to happen more.
Well, and that's why, as Paul Machina Black Book talks about, it's not just Carvana, it's not just Vroom. You've got more and more companies getting into it, and that's actually what Assertus, their business model is, where it's over the road, it's home delivery, it's compliance, title and registration, so you've got many tools in the toolbox. It's not just delivering it. And I think that we're going to see more companies adopting that. United Road does that. But the number of companies that do all those things is going to increase.
Yes.
And this is why I started to focus on fleet management companies. That's why that ARI show is going to be interesting. ARI handles vehicle acquisition, management, etc. for companies for everything from cranes to lawnmowers.
Mm-hmm.
Say what? Okay, so next, let's go to... whoops, change the view here, share the screen, let's get the spinner. Right, and Rob points out consumers are more sophisticated with all the technology. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Equipment tips. Oh, yeah. Trailer, semis, and pickup trucks. Help me, Brian.
This is why I stuck around.
Man, and I know I wanted Ty around for this one as well, but Lionel, we got you here too. So we have 2 great experts. This is such a big topic. This is actually one of the few topics that regularly is accepted as an actual auto transport topic. The problem is, it's just one of many great topics as far as I'm concerned. But without further ado, I'm not the equipment guy, and everybody knows it.
Now, the key to picking the right equipment is having a proper business plan first. Know what your target audience is, what you plan on doing, the type of vehicles you plan on hauling, short, long distance, mixed, you're not sure, make a plan, and then what are you qualified to operate, and then what is safe to operate for the job you're doing. Just because you can doesn't always mean you should. And I'm not picking on the hot shots. I love them. Company I worked with, we started, Victor started with his pickup truck and trailer. I started with a 2-car rollback. There's nothing wrong with starting with a small truck. There's nothing wrong with staying with a small truck. Just know the limitations of your equipment. But probably the best advice I can give you is don't buy it just because it's pretty. Don't buy it because you wanted the souped up Ram 5500. Buy it because it is functional. Pretty comes later. Pretty doesn't make you money. Functional makes you money. So think about exactly what you plan on hauling. If you want to get into that market hauling the repo cars and the in-ops because they pay 30-40 cents a mile more than a running driving car does, then buy the right equipment. Don't go to Harbor Freight and buy a 9,000-pound winch for $50. It's not going to hold up. Buy a quality winch for your truck. Learn something about your equipment and how to do it. And get some professional help, some training if you don't know what you're doing. It is very difficult to just jump into this, buy a truck and trailer, and start hauling. Yet so many people, I get this question several times a day, that's what they want to do. Or, hey, I bought a truck and trailer. What can I do with it? Well, you should know what you're going to do with that truck and trailer long before you buy it. That's my equipments and tips for tonight. Just have a plan and buy the equipment that suits the plan, not the equipment that suits your ego.
Let me add another angle of anxiety to that. If Brian hasn't scared the hell out of you, you have to plan your time correctly when you get your equipment also, because your 9-car trailer, as opposed to your 3-car trailer, if you don't incorporate the amount of time that it takes to load 9 cars as opposed to 3 cars or 5, because you don't get paid for loading cars. You don't get paid for traveling around picking up cars. So you got to take that in consideration into your business model. If you're buying a 9-car, hopefully you have a connection, and this is where Ty comes in, is that you talk to your dealerships where you substantiated enough cars to fill that 9-car trailer up. Because if you're starting from scratch and want to use a 9-car hauler and you got 9 different places to pick up, don't plan on making any money that day, because you're just going to pick up cars, you're not going to deliver them.
You're absolutely correct, Lionel. I got a whole lot of crap all the years because we never had Stingers. The biggest we had were 7-car trailers, but it worked for my deal. We had a closed loop. We had we call it milk run, which meant every Monday our trucks hit the same 5 or 6 dealerships, whether we knew there were going to be cars there or not. It might be a jackpot, it might not, but we ran 7-car haulers because they were quick and simple, 90-mile average length of haul. There was no need for a Stinger. The time that was lost there was more than made up with the efficiency of the equipment we have. So again, know what you're doing. It worked for us. It may not work for someone else. If you're trying to run irregular route over the country, a 7-car high mount may not be the trailer for you because of the inconsistency in overhang laws. It may not be the trailer for you because it's not as versatile you never know what you're getting for vehicles. I knew exactly what I was getting. We had a OEM that we hauled for that was 90% of our work. And we could predict, like I was talking about earlier, 36 months out, what make and model vehicles are going to be there for us even. But not everybody is doing that. So again, if you're doing an irregular route over the country, High Rail Stinger may be the truck for you because you have the most versatile loading options on it. If you're just running around Metro New York City, maybe a 3-car is all you need for that, a 3-car straight truck even. So again, you're absolutely right, Lionel. Take all that into consideration. Do you expect to make multiple trips a day? You want something quick and easy to load.
That's great stuff, you guys, and great interaction happening in the live chat. In fact, Finest Towing and Recovery just said, cannot find any new car trailers due to COVID. Any ideas? Huh.
What type of car trailers are he looking for? Is he looking to buy high mounts, Stingers, specific brands? There are some out there. There are dealers that have them on the lot.
Yes.
They are getting harder to get because a lot of your major manufacturers, he is correct, due to COVID, had slowdowns in production. But there are still new trailers on the lot. They're just becoming more difficult to find.
Well, and then we had a couple. Catherine's, she says, I'm getting started, have a dually Ram with a 5-car hauler, looking for a drug consortium. Do you have any general suggestions on a drug consortium? Great question, Catherine.
If she's just a single truck owner operator, the best way to get a drug consortium is through a trade association. Probably the simplest one is OOIDA. They're not one of my favorite groups, but they do a good job with their drug testing program. It is spot on. Little more pricey, but you don't have to join a trade association. Go to one of your local occupational health places like MedExpress, Concentra, one of them. They all have DOT compliant drug testing programs. Just stick with a national name brand, not one that may not be compliant, may not be in business next year when you need them. And as a single truck owner operator, make sure they will handle all your reporting requirements, because you cannot manage your clearinghouse completely by yourself. If you're a single truck owner operator, your drug consortium has to be named as the third-party administrator to make that report. So if you're going to do that, just make sure they'll do the TPA, the third-party administrator reporting to the clearinghouse if you're a single truck owner operator.
Wow. And if any of that is confusing, right, I put fleetcompliancesolutions.net in the live chat, and that's Brian Riker. And then for Lionel, I just want to share Lionel's link as well, because I know this is a really big topic. I think it's probably one of the bigger topics of all the ones we've covered tonight. Equipment gets asked about on a regular, I think it is a daily basis. And when I hear carriers, I think every carrier YouTube video I've watched, equipment is talked about in every single one.
Maybe you need to add an equipment show to the Auto Transport channel.
So maybe. I don't know where I'd put it right now, and but it's a really good idea. So that might be something we talk about.
Tuesday afternoon instead of Tuesday night.
Can I say one quick thing on equipment?
Please. Yeah.
So with equipment, you can make money at whatever equipment you have, as long as it's good equipment, reliable equipment. You can make money on a single car carrier, a 2-car carrier, a 3-car, a 7-car, a 5-car. Know your lane. Know where you're supposed to be. If you only have a 1 or 2-car carrier, you cannot go across the country. You may want to go across the country, but you cannot. Stay in your neighborhood with that single car or 2-car. You can make money with any piece of equipment as long as it's reliable. Just know your lane. And I've seen guys, and I've actually experienced a little of it myself, when you have a 3-car or 4-car and you're doing fine, and you jump up to a 7-car or the Stinger, and now it takes me longer to load, I'm driving more miles, away from home more than I wanted to be, and I'm really, at the end of the week, I'm making the same amount of money. And so, I don't know, just know your plan, know your lane, and you can make money with anything. Don't go too far. Short mile, long dollar. Ty's favorite little saying, and that's it. Make money on a short mile, and you'll be fine.
Well said.
With the short equipment. With the short equipment. If you have the big equipment, go to distance.
Well, and I will say, because I just in elementary terms, I know I've seen on Dispatching Live, when we see a 3-car hauler trying to compete with a Stinger on a route, on a rate, on a load, you can't do it.
No.
You just can't do it.
You're not in your lane. You're not in your lane.
That.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Make your money, because you can make good money with a 3-car. Just stay in your lane.
Okay.
It's not all about the total number of cars or the total miles you drive for the day. It's the revenue you produce for the day. Have that business plan. Like I said, we used to run an average length of haul 90 miles. Trucks ran 200 miles a day, 1,000 miles a week. Most people say there's no way you made any money at all. But I promise you, those trucks made a lot of money.
The best money.
Okay, we got 2 more. And please do, Gerard, please do post it. This is Auto Transport Intel. We accept opposing points of view. Oh, what's the best new car hauling advice? What's the best new car hauling 2021? Yeah, do it. Go for it. Great continuation.
So, I was talking to a guy today and talking about, how his very last question was, what would you advise a guy in 2021? And if you think about 2020, what happened in 2020 in the pendulum, and I mentioned that on LinkedIn, Jay, the pendulum, being on the right side of the pendulum, when 2020 COVID hit and the lockdown hit, what did you see? You saw the pendulum swing way to the left, way to the left, and there's no loads. There's guys are still trying to, there's 12,000 loads on Central. You've never seen as many loads being unavailable as you ever saw. Brokers kind of bullying carriers into, well, this is the price I have right now, and you can take it for that, or you can don't take it for that. And guys trying to make their payments and do their thing and trying to keep up. Well, the pendulum swung when Avis, Enterprise, Budget, everybody was trying to get rid of their fleet of cars, and it flooded the market with automobiles. And there was a lot of inventory and not very much truck capacity. And what did that do to the pendulum? It started swinging the other way. And then at the same time, the natural industry began to pick up. And so there was a lot of cars. I mean, there was 70,000 cars on Central. You've never seen so many cars on Central, never seen the kind of the volume, and we didn't have the truck capacity. And then all of a sudden, the pendulum's to the right, and you have the drivers now bullying the brokers and going, well, what you did to me when it was in the pendulum was on the other side, now it's coming back. And the drivers were actually, I think, bullying the brokers and the shippers some, where maybe they shouldn't have so much, and maybe the brokers shouldn't have so much, and we come right into the middle. So right now I think the pendulum has started to swing a little bit to the left again, and it's starting to slow down. And guys are talking about rates, and what do I do about rates? How can I get my rate up? And everybody's complaining about rates. Well, if the carriers this time, when the pendulum swings to the left and it starts to go to the right, don't bully the broker, and get a rate that's fair for everybody, fair for the broker, fair for the shipper, fair for the carrier, and then keep it in the middle, and you'll have a much greater chance of it staying in the middle, which is where everybody needs it. That price needs to stable out a little bit. When you have Paul Machine going, we've got 2 million cars that are going to hit the industry with repossessions, and when repossessions and the moratorium is up and the paperwork is starting to come through, and now you got 2 million cars in the industry that are somehow going to need to be transported, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, the pendulum is going way to the right again. And if everybody just kind of maintains and don't be too greedy, don't be a bully, keep the prices where it's fair for everybody, the drivers will have a much greater chance, I think, of keeping the price from swinging back. So at the end, my advice to my guy who I was talking to for the 2021 carrier was, save your money. Right now, save your money, because right now, hopefully you saved some money when the pendulum went to the right. It's going to the left again a little bit right now. That moratorium is going to end. It is ending. You're going to have 2 million cars in the industry that need to be traveled or transported 1, 2, 3 times, and it's going to swing to the right. And at the same time it's going to happen, or snowbirds are going to come back out of Florida. People are going to be coming from California going back to their relocation when they go Arizona, California, and snowbird that direction. Even snowbirds in Colorado, where they like the snow, and now they're going to go back home. So you have all of the transportation that is going to happen naturally in the spring at the same time that you're going to have 2 million cars that need to be transported 1, 2, or 3 times, and it's going to go to the right. So when that increase, you get that big increase in money, save your money, driver, save your money, because it's going to come back, and then it'll help you get through the time when it goes to the left. If everybody, though, kind of stays keeping it, don't get too greedy going to the right, and the brokers and shippers don't get too greedy when it goes to the left, keep it in the middle for everybody. The price will be at a good rate for everybody, for the broker, for the shipper, for the carrier. That is all.
Well said.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, please, Lino.
I'll go ahead and add this on. I mean, I'm not going to go into the whole facade of what 2020 was. The reality of what everything is done, and you have to keep up now. It's no longer 2021, it's actually 2031. And if you understand what I'm saying from that, because everything has been accelerated by what has happened over the past year. So it's what me and Brian talk about all the time in retrospect to the business model itself. It's reputation, compliance. It's not about the load board and what you can, the 10 stars that you can get on there and, and move on from there. It's about talking to these auto dealerships. Your best input is going to be from talking to them directly. And you have to go into a conscientious system where you weren't talking to car dealerships and call 5 a day. It's very simple. Talk to 5 car dealerships per day and find out what they want. Even if you're not calling to haul from them, get a perspective from them to see what they are in their process. That'll help you plan for what it is that you need to do. Go to the car auction, hang out at the car auction. Everybody's there at the car auction to even consolidate your time if you don't want to call. Once they start opening up and allow those things to flow, you can get your best intel, no pun intended, but from these places, and it will make you much more of a better car hauler, because now you're talking right to the people who are handling everything and which direction they're moving.
Well said. I'll add for 2021, we have a new administration coming in, so we may see a change in the regulatory focus. The rates are artificially affected right now on the spot market, the stuff we get from the brokers. They're up, they're down, but look at a 3 to 5 year average when you're making your business plan. Don't come in and say, oh, cool, I can get cars from here to here for $1 a mile on a car. I'm going to be great. And then when the market changes in March and there are no cars because we're back in a lockdown or something, you're in trouble. Look at an overall average. Make sure you can run your business on what the average rates are over 3 to 5 years. Expect some changes in the industry. We don't know what 2021 is going to bring, but have a plan for it. Have some money put away. That's absolutely key to have savings. You got to have retained earnings or you're not going to be able to weather that storm. And just don't make your plans on pie in the sky dreams. Look at the actual real numbers that are out there. I expect fuel to be 30 to 50 cents a gallon higher by June, and be prepared for it.
What 2020 has taught us is that things that we had not considered before, those that were successful adapted to and made changes and implemented them right away. We don't have time to sit back and die from analysis paralysis. We've got to size up the situation now, act on it now, because that's going to make the difference as to whether or not we're going to be there tomorrow. So I think going into 2021, those companies that have embraced that type of thinking, they're the ones that are going to be quicker to act, and they're the ones that are going to survive. I think there's going to be a thinning out of a lot of businesses over the next 8-9 months or so. But if we've learned anything, it's that we need to understand the new situation and adapt to it quickly.
Agree.
I'm glad everybody got a chance to chime in on that one. That's definitely a benefit of being at the tail end of the comet, as it were. So we have one more left, I believe. So I'll spin the wheel to make sure. Nothing like a one-spoke wheel.
Is that like a one-trick pony?
I don't even think that made a noise. Yeah, it is.
It's moving at 33 RPMs.
Oh, I like this one. Yeah, exactly. What's it going to take to stay the #1 broker carrier? I preface this because I always get a kick out of, for years, all the voicemails and web pages, etc., that say we're #1, we're the #1, we're voted #1. And I understand, you know, creative, competitive marketing advantages. I get it. But whatever was on your voicemail 2 years ago that made you number one, how are you going to stay number one?
By innovating and being agile, quick to adapt to the market. We have to give the customers what they want, not tell them what we are going to do for them. But the question I'm going to ask is, why do you want to be the number one broker carrier? Don't you want to get the brokers out of your life and have your own direct freight and only use them for fill-in? But still, to answer the question, number one broker carrier, just be the number one carrier out there, is be the best you can in your niche market, your specialty part of auto transport, and be quick to adapt. Don't brush off these new ideas, this new technology. Nobody wants a paper condition report anymore. Nobody wants you to wrap chains around the axle or poke them in holes on the bottom of their car. Get with the times, use the technology, leverage groups like this, the ecosystem here with Auto Transport Intel. You will learn, you will get some innovative new ideas. 2021 is going to be a different year, so be prepared to be different.
I definitely agree. From the great words of LeVar Ball, stay in your lane. Focus on what it is that you are best at. Take the time to sit down over the time that you have down before the new year and find out who you are. Focus on that niche. I'll go back to what Brian was saying. Just stay on that and identify who you are before you go out here into the new year. That way you can focus on that, and that way you can get a circumstance of balance, because you're dealing with just that. By doing too many things, you'll spread yourself too thin and you'll be out of business before you know it, if you don't understand who you are going into the next year.
Yeah, I'm going to say stop competing. Thank you, and I'm going to hand it to you. Stop competing with lowballers. When you find out that you are in a competitive match with a bunch of lowballers, change up what you're doing. Get out of the lowball arena.
Walk away. Let them win that race to the bottom of the rates.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, some of those lowballers, those are the guys that when they show up at your house to drop the car off, they're the guys they're looking for another $250 to drop the car, or they're going to take it away, and that gives the honest guys a bad rap, because they ruin. There's always the few that ruin it for the good. But regarding their show, Jay, I just want to say that I've been in the automotive space for over 40 years. And I'm so thankful that I got to meet you and Ty, and the stuff that I'm learning on your channel and through the people that you bring on your show that I now watch every Tuesday night. It's on my calendar. It's incredible. There's so much more to auto hauling and transporting than anybody that's not in this world even contemplates or understands. You know, that old saying of, you don't know what you don't know. There is so much stuff to this, so much beyond anything. And all my years in the car dealership world, none of this stuff. I mean, little bits and pieces, yeah, but the stuff that I've learned in just the few months that I've been tuning into your show, it's like Transport University, bro. I can't thank you enough. This is awesome.
Wow, thank
you.
you.
The greatest auto transport channel on the whole internet. You can't find one better, I tell you.
Incredible.
I really appreciate that. I think this project, right? Auto Transport Intel is a project that it's a journey. A journey is a better word than project, because I had no idea when I started this that it could be this important. And I think, there's a lot more to do, and that's why I have learned so much, and so I'm just trying to host the forum and get out of the way, right? Sometimes I have to remember that, I'm just the host, I set up the superheroes and then, okay, you guys go battle, right? It's amazing. So, I mean, thank you, Paul. I haven't seen anything like this anywhere. And so I feel so blessed to, have found a place to plant the flag and let the people speak. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thank you for the platform.
One thing about that, Jay, is that if you think back and you look at your first videos, and this is not the path that you were on, but you diversified just like a business needs to do to conform to what its customers want. You were focused on the car carrier, the car hauler, the car hauling channel. Well, it is, but you then brought in guests that support that industry and big names. And if you think back, and if I ask you right now, is today's show and the people who you had on, who you envisioned having on 3 years ago?
Oh man, Ned, no, thank you. That's awesome.
You
Well,
diversified it. You went with what your customers want and what your audience wants, and who your audience is.
and
Your
who
audience has expanded so much.
Oh my gosh, and who I want to understand the value of what we need to do, the connections we need to make. It's so cool. So it's today. And by the way, I'm a creature of change, media, marketing, and change. And we all are. What's really interesting, I'll say this: 2020 was a year of change, right, for all of us. I've been living this way for a really long time. I've been following change for a really long time. So it wasn't as hard for me to adapt to all these changes. And I already had, that's what's so interesting. The channel already existed. The year is what was new.
Mm-hmm.
And I in 2017, when I was trying to pivot towards what 2018 was setting up, yeah, it didn't make near as much sense as it does now. That's where timing, I just got lucky with the timing. But here's what I want to say today. I heard, we all love music. Everybody has a favorite song. Everybody has a favorite movie, and most people have a favorite book. An artist or whatever it is that inspires us. And so I heard today, again on the radio, Roll with the Changes by REO Speedwagon. Now, and this is true. I heard it on the radio again today. I've heard that song a jillion times, and I love it every time. Because I can't get the lyrics right because I didn't write it down, but he talks about turning pages, right? Roll with the changes. It is amazing. Because when you stop turning pages and rolling with changes, we see it more now than ever before. It'll hurt you. And so you have to roll with the changes. And yeah, it's funny when I look back at the videos, the dispatching videos, like episode 1 of Tuesday Nights Live is hilarious. And luckily I had the time to, I know on a journey that I'm not going to succeed day 1. I was hoping to succeed more by day 170, but yeah, we're on the right path. That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for joining me on this journey.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Paul, you have a good show on Sunday nights if the audience, and speaking of good guests, and I was talking to Ty about that today, you have good guests on your show.
Thank you.
Very interesting, and if people on Sunday nights are able, I wonder, like, oddly enough, you have Ty on next Sunday, I think, but that is people. Not that Ty's not a great guest, but people, you're bringing people in that I don't know. I think people would find very interesting, and I recommend that they take a look.
Thank you. Every Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, on LinkedIn Live. I'm going to go right now, and I'm going to, let's see here.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up too. So I go to YouTube, and now your channel is called, is it the White Tablecloth?
White Tablecloth. Oh, actually, it's on there as well. Yeah.
And it's okay. And
simulcast.
And so, yeah. So you go to, is that where you go? Do you go to the White Tablecloth on YouTube?
Yep. It'll broadcast live on there as well.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, because it's on LinkedIn is what you're saying, right?
Well, I stream it on LinkedIn Live, YouTube, as well as Facebook.
That's awesome.
I can catch an audience depending on where they are.
You know, I originally wanted to multi-stream. My stream kept breaking. I don't know what was going on. So now I only go live on YouTube, but that's awesome. LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yep.
Fantastic. What a great call, man.
Just wait till we have all inbox.
What I try to do is
I
bring in the people that contribute to our business in all different areas. You know, a lot of shows today have the same people on all the time, right? Or the same topic all the time. I try to bring in the stuff that the other people don't bring on, and some of the technologies that maybe people aren't aware of, to just kind of bring education to the automotive space.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too, is that, and you know this, in the automotive space, now that it's more crowded, you have to roll with the changes and really focus on benefits of adaptations within changes. That's why I say, this is the tip of the day. Anybody that finds themselves speaking in front of others for any reason, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, if you're going to recap 2020, just say, obviously, 2020 changed everything, and here's how it changed my stuff. Do not give me a recap of how coronavirus came over, and blah, 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 blah. I can't hear it anymore, and swear, I don't think anybody else wants to either. I'm just shooting you straight. Hey, Catherine, thank you so much. I'll tell you what, Catherine, and for anybody else, if you want to donate to Auto Transport Intel, do me a favor, just go ahead and send me an email. I've got a PayPal and a Cash App. I had somebody else ask me that over this weekend, and nobody's obliged. You don't have to do that, but just to answer the question. Because what I want to do, I was hoping, here's something I was hoping for. I was hoping I could be doing merch by the end of this year, and I'm not there. I don't have the budget. So hopefully I get to that next year.
I just posted a link to the show also in the chat.
Oh, so I don't know what is going on. I'm going to try and highlight and share it. Yeah, there's something weird going on with the YouTube. I just copied it and shared it. You'll let me know, Paul, when you're doing your show.
Yeah.
Let me know if you run into this sharing links in the YouTube live chat. I think there's a a temporary bug. Because Kimberly and I are having tons of errors tonight sharing links. So, I don't know. On that note, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time. I know that it's late. I know it's been a long show. Wheel of Topics lasted 2 hours tonight. So, thank you
for longer than a CVS receipt.
Right. Oh, my gosh. Whoa.
It would have been an hour and 45 minutes if you kept your intro under control.
Uh-oh. Here comes the criticism. Especially from a fellow co-host. And you know what?
We can't end my show on time ever either, so it's okay.
I talked to Ty about it. He's like, he knows exactly. Andrew Serica, he's hoping that DOT compliance happens tomorrow. So, I'll
do my best, Andrew.
Well, here's it. Anything that works for you time wise is fine with me. I'm not on any schedule. I didn't schedule any. I don't have any meetings scheduled because this again is an extended. It's that end of the year stuff. So whatever we can do, Brian. But I get it. No problem. No pressure either way. Sue's got the day off Thursday. So the only other show scheduled this week, for sure, is Friday. Cars on the Move with Ty. So if you get a chance, please join us for that. Otherwise, Paul, Brian, Mark, Lionel, thanks for sticking around for the second half. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
New
Stay
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Here's to a better 2021.
Yes,
We'll
indeed.
see what we
Stay
make
safe.
of it.
I raise my ELD punch.
There you go.
Cheers.
A little left.
Smoke them if you got them.
Good night,
Sounds
guys.
like a good idea. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night. Happy New Year. Stay safe.
Take care.
And the meeting there is over. I let him go. It's real. Great live chat tonight. There was a lot happening. Thank you guys so much for sticking around in the live chat. I really do appreciate everybody for tuning in, for participating, contributing. It's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I want to thank Murphy Auto Transport Services. Thank you, Sue. And if you got a dispatch, brokering need, if you're shipping a car, we're getting more of that. We're getting more people randomly finding the channel that are shipping a car. If you're shipping a car, need a dispatcher, a broker, etc., you don't know what all that is, thank you, Murphy Auto Transport Services. And if you don't have the information, you can email me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Thank you, Mark at Superflow Systems, for being a part of this show, being a contributor, a supporter. Superflow Systems has awesome end-to-end auto transport business software solutions. Thank you, Jack Cooper. Looking for a job? Go to jackcooper.com/careers. Jack is back, and they will be back in January. And I want to thank everybody on the panel tonight. See if I can get this right. I want to thank you, Ron, for being a important community member, for your contribution, even though Ron couldn't make the show tonight. He'll be back for the next Willow Topics. Thank you, Ty Thompson. Thank you so much, Cars on the Move and Ty. Thank you, Tim Skatellis at Max Digital. Thank you, Mark Grodicke, Superflow Systems. Paul Meyer, The White Tablecloth, and DealerVendorMatch.com. Brian Riker, Fleet Compliance Solutions, YourDOTGuide.com, and my co-host on Wednesdays. Lionel Yates, Insurance, CY Financial Solutions. Thanks for your participation, contribution, and being a solid community member. Really appreciate that. And thank you, Paul Machine of Black Book. Thank you so much, Black Book, for your information, data, and participation. We got a lot more great shows coming up next. So thank you so much for being a part of it, and happy holidays. I hope you're making the best of the holidays. It's odd, right? What a weird year. No need to go on with that further. 2021, year of the hybrid. Adapt. Roll with the changes. And if you find yourself getting stuck, don't be afraid to turn the page. And let us know how we can help. This is Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay. You can email me anything. autotransportintel@gmail.com, whether it's news or you need help. Let me know how I can help. And in the meantime, stay safe. Have a happy New Year's. Thank you so much. This was episode 170 in a row on a Tuesday night. We got a lot more coming next year. So I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Peace out.